Hello, everybody. There we go. Let's bring that up. There we go. It's my big ugly mug in the picture. And let me bring in the big brains of today's session. Here we go. The Discord is now live. Do you want to say hello to Randy the Magic Man? Vipup, of course, as well. Let's hear you, Randy. See what it sounds like.
Hey, how's it going, everyone out there? And
that sounds great.
It's internet land now, isn't it? Yeah.
It is internet land. Isn't everything internet land now? Like that's
the interwebs.
The world. My world. My world is interwebs at this point. But today you're taking us out of internet worlds, right?
Yeah, and kind of hopefully getting people inside their own heads, solving some puzzles and making some puzzles of their own.
Well, so let's start by, can you give us a little sort of background for people? Like you've got two of the most exciting jobs that I could imagine, frankly. And so I welcome you to share that with our tech banditry folks.
Sure. Well, I mean, first and foremost, let me just say that I think we all envy what we don't have, I think.
The grass is always greener.
Right, it's true. Yeah, that, right. Yeah, I mean, I am, of course, Randy the Magic Man is, of course, a full-time magician, as I've been on here teaching some magic tricks before, but I also help design and build escape room puzzles. Yeah.
But that kind of, I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, like, I'd forgotten that you were doing the magic as well. Jesus, you never stop.
Yeah. It's a full-time entertaining. It's 7 days a week. I get my days off. Technically, they're like hours, 12 hours or so off.
So that's much a day as a few hours to sleep.
Right. Yeah, pretty much.
But I think the magic thing makes sense for the escape room design, doesn't it? Because I mean, a lot of magic is tricks and hidden things, and it sort of made sense when you said it to me.
It certainly does help with designing and building certain things, coming up with things that normal thinking brains wouldn't come up with unless you have a specific niche. Actors think one way, whereas carpenters think another.
And let's face it, actors don't do a lot of thinking. Carpenters maybe, but actors, come on, we're just there to eat the food, aren't we? That's what I always assume.
Yeah.
Now, but you have there's a whole other side of what you're doing here as well. There's a whole other job that you have.
Yeah, lots of them. I mean, I've got I've got the voice acting. I've got all the other the fun stuff, and of course a trivia show that I own and operate as well. Wow. So yeah, just
and D&D, and you're doing D&D as well, right? Is that?
And I also I don't even consider that a job. It's so fun. But I do actually. I'm a professional Dungeons and Dragons master. That I actually get paid to host D&D parties for lots of cool people.
I shouldn't say he's got the two most coolest jobs. He's got two of the coolest regular jobs, right? You know what I mean?
I guess so.
Like it's like I got to go to my 9 to 5 and play Dungeons and Dragons. Do you imagine that Vipup being a dungeon master and that's your job?
That would be scary for me because I couldn't even. I might do the thing for the TechBandits, but I kind of had to leave the Dungeons and Dragons club thing because they were very judgmental.
What?
And it was my first time doing Dungeons and Dragons, so
Well, then they suck because the whole point of Dungeons and Dragons is it's like bringing people in. If you're going to scare people away, then there's no point in playing it because you're not going to have any new players. You're going to be bored out of your mind. Oh, well, dude, we got to play together then. That's nuts. We got to get another game going.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, never judge the game based off the DM that you're playing with. It's just their sort of style, right? So, if your first time at it was, oh man, it was rubbish, well, just try it with somebody else. Try, and you'll find that the exact same game, the exact same campaign can be completely something different.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
It really does depend on those things for sure. So. Now, I've got to say, I did some research on escape rooms because I felt bad because I've never done an escape room, right? So I thought, I better do some research. I had so much fun looking into this stuff. Like, it is a whole world that I didn't even know existed. Like, I didn't realize that it's happened in the last, It's in the last, 15 years or so, these things have shown up, right?
Give or take. Yeah, well, I mean, they've been around for quite a lot longer, but I mean, certainly the popularity has kicked up in the last decade or so.
Right. I also because I have just the most massive ego and it's always about me. I was very interested to see that Cube was referenced numerous times as kind of an inspiration for which makes complete sense because Cube is a film about people stuck in. It's literally a giant escape room movie.
Yes, you are stuck in a room. You have to solve the puzzle to be able to get to the end. Right, and then that's essentially what all sort of escape rooms, puzzle rooms like that are. That's what they're all sort of built around. Is you get in, you solve this puzzle, and then you feel sort of accomplished by getting to the end. You use your mind to be able to figure this out as more instead of your muscles or something, right? So
what muscles would those be, Randy?
Exactly, but just it's just I think it's a neat sort of. Anyone can lift something, but it takes a keen mind to really get in there and solve a puzzle. Or just go in and just be the comic relief to the people who are there. If you're going to join a group of friends and just be off to the side.
Yeah.
Sometimes, what is it, out of the mouths of babes, right? So
right. Out of the mouths of jerks. Could actually make some fun. Yeah, have some fun.
Oh, so there wouldn't be anything in this trash can. And then, of course, that sparks an idea.
Well, do you have are there people who walk them through maybe you should explain exactly what we're defining as an escape room here for people.
Sure. Well, what I design and build is basically, now there are of course rooms in which you get locked into, but certain laws are actually make that illegal. But
well, like entrapment and kidnapping generally. Yeah.
All that other jazz.
I did wonder about that because locking someone in a room. I mean, I'm assuming you have to have fail safes for that kind of stuff. I assume.
Well, yeah. Where I am located, it's actually incredibly illegal against all sort of fire codes and things like that as well. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, it's just not worth the fine. We just don't lock the door.
It's not worth the fine, or people dying in a fire.
Right. Even if you have the lock in there and nobody is in the room, if the lock is on the door, that is enough to get the
Right. So
anyway.
You mean you fake locking it then, or you
essentially,
you step back and
essentially, instead of sort of escape room, sort of where you have to break out of it, what we kind of design is more of a puzzle themed room. So there's an end goal, there's a finish line that you have to achieve within a certain hour, and if you do,
it's an hour. You have an hour to solve it.
Yeah. So it's 1 hour that you guys have to be able to solve this up. We give you a couple of clues if you need them throughout the whole thing. But the whole idea is that you have 1 hour to be able to solve all of these clues and get to the end goal of all. Currently, right now, we've got a couple of rooms out there. We've got one of them is a sort of haunted museum, where the end goal is to be able to find out why the spirit is there and also find out how to get rid of her. And
really?
Right, because
so it's like a horror themed thing. So it's like, do people get like freaked out and stuff?
Yeah, there are a few jump scares, minor jump scares involved in this.
Okay, so I'm out. Like I'm a coward. I'm not gonna. I'll wet myself for something embarrassing. Like
Do you have a button that allows you to have like the Wilhelm scream every now and then, which is fun. Especially when they're bending down to pick up a box to try and unlock it. Just hit it and it's just
scare the crap out of it. So it's an audio thing.
Yeah.
So what are the elements? Yeah. So maybe run through the element. Like, what are you using to make these things? So you've got to have how many spaces do you have in this place?
Well, currently in our location right now, we've got the three sort of rooms that we're running, and we kind of spin them out almost about every 6 months or so.
You have to create new ones every 6 months?
Well, essentially, ones that we kind of like having it new people coming out, but we also like having the old people coming out that have come out for all the time. We want them to not just come out 3 times. We want them to keep rolling out, right? So
right, of course.
We do it for both. Yeah, and who knows? Whenever we switch out a room, we have no idea how popular it becomes until we actually build it and design it, and then suddenly it's one of our most popular rooms for that month.
And which are the most popular ones? Like, is there a type of escape room that people tend to like more than others?
Well, kind of. One, like I mentioned, the haunted museum that we have is really really cool. Where again, you're trying to get rid of the spirit and stuff. There's another one where it's the whole idea is you're trying to find this giant golden egg. So there's this huge giant golden egg, and you're in like the middle of the woods, in front of a cabin, and your
You're
whole
like
idea is to
actually
try and
outside.
find, yeah.
You're actually outside.
Well, no, not actually outside.
Oh, okay, all right.
Well, you're in a room designed to look like you're outside.
Got it. See, already that's much better for me. I like pretend outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually kind of cool. The egg room, we designed it in such a way we have LED lights going behind a whole bunch of like cotton material, like fluffy cotton, so it really looks like a thunderstorm kind of rolling around.
Oh,
it's
cool.
Kind of neat.
Oh, neat. So you really get to be creative doing this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I take a lot of cues not just from being a magician and stuff, but kind of having a little bit of background acting sort of stuff. Not too much, but I kind of got to see some of the prop design and how something looks great on camera, but you look behind the scenes and it's just straw and hay.
Yeah, it's
duct
funny,
tape,
isn't it?
Right? Yeah.
It is. It's always a little disappointing. I mean, I found the Stargate props were pretty great because they spent a lot of money on them, and there's certain things that have done beautiful. But as you say, they're sort of designed to work just long enough on camera, and then when the paint starts peeling off them and stuff, it doesn't a little unimpressive sometimes.
Well, and the cool thing is that you take some of that, but you make it a little bit more sturdier because you know that you're going to have people repeatedly using this thing, right?
Yeah. And with COVID, I guess you got to clean them too, right? Which has got to be tough on them.
Yeah.
The old alcohol spray to remove any kind of good paintwork you've got going.
Essentially, that was a lot of our artwork did get sort of mucked around because of it, but nonetheless, I mean, a few smudges on artwork is really nothing compared to whatever else, right? So,
and it's I guess the pandemic must have been brutal for that because of course you're not. I mean, did you guys go virtual with anything? I mean, could you do virtual tours or anything?
We did opt to try a few virtual things, and some of it did work, but ultimately, coming back from the pandemic, having it sort of open full time again, has certainly helped out a lot.
Well, that's the whole point too. I mean, like the whole point is to have a physical. It's about stepping away from a computer and getting in there and figuring stuff out and things, right? I mean, it's the physical side of it. It's the fun part.
Yeah,
I've seen a few virtual ones, and I was always like, well, I almost feel like I'd rather play a video game because then it's sort of design. Although I guess there's a live element to it, I suppose that could be fun. But anyways, all right. So you've got 3 rooms operating all the time. Do you have are there actors that are a part of each one of those rooms, or are people just on their own?
Yes, we do have a few sort of actors and things that are part of it. More so in a either visual or auditorial sense in part of the game, as opposed to being there. This way, we can ensure that we're giving the same experience to every customer.
Right.
But we do have we got the space room as you know.
I do know about that. Do you want to tell them about that?
Sure. Yes, we've got the space room, which is essentially you're on the outskirts of Mars, and your whole idea is that the ship is down and the power cores are depleted, and you're meant to try and find a way back to Earth by locating all these power cores on the ship and restarting the ship. And of course, you helped us out with that, with giving us a lovely intro for that.
Who better than to send people on a search for energy sources than not Dr. Rodney McKay? We weren't allowed to do Dr. Rodney McKay because that'd be a copyright thing. But
General Hewlett.
General Hewlett, that's right. Was it General Hewlett? Is that what we ended up with?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So knowing me, that's probably what I said, just because that's me.
I just put insert name here, and you were like, General Hewlett.
I put my name in, of course, because that's how I roll. Oh, that's neat. I don't suppose anyone's actually gone, wait a second. No one's actually recognized the voice, have they?
Well, a few have.
Seriously? Without any hints?
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, you say your name, obviously, General Hewlett, but as they hear that, they take it off. It's definitely since the release of Cabinet of Curiosities that your name has certainly been popping up.
Really?
Right. So,
because I would never. It's not the sort of thing I would like. I wouldn't be thinking, oh, there's they got an actor guy for that. I mean, it's just kind of a funny non sequitur.
It's a bit funny because I mean they're going into it, it's a space room, so they're kind of going into it as a space nerd. That's the reason why you want to be on a spaceship, right?
Yeah.
So, so you're going on there, and then you see this, and you see some other clever things that we have sort of hidden around the room that kind of point, to either sci-fi shows or things like that. Legally distinct, obviously, but
yeah. Are there issues with that? Like you couldn't do like a Stargate themed room though, couldn't you? Is that or just
we could, but I mean, to sell it as a Stargate thing would be obviously a licensing issue.
I see. Right,
so we could make a ring, but never refer to it as the Stargate.
Right, the space toilet. Yeah.
Indeed, the space. Yeah, I was going to go with space ring, but sure.
Yeah. You could flush you into another dimension or something. There's like.
That's right.
So, okay, so you've sort of a generic. And I don't mean that in a generic way. I mean that in a fun way. But it's a space themed. It's a space themed room. You've got to figure out, and so these are like puzzle rooms, then, right? If they're in one room, I guess it's a puzzle room. Is that? And how do you gauge the level of the? Well, could you give us an example of one of the puzzles? I don't want to give anything away, but I mean,
Sure. Well, for instance, I can kind of give you an idea here.
Oh, can I see you? Is there? If I go to Discord,
if you want,
absolutely. Let's see you. In fact, I can bring you up on my little.
Let's do it.
Me sharing Discord. Let's see how this works. Oh, there you go. That's us sharing Discord. Perfect. All right. So if you share your screen, I guess, how does this work? Well, I'm sure it'll all come together any second now.
All right, here. Let's see. Let me click a button.
Yeah, that always helps. Click a button. This is like an escape room unto itself. Trying to get through one of my Tech Bandit streams is basically like an escape room unto itself.
I don't know. It's saying I.
Do you need do you need permission? Oh, okay, let me see if I can fix the permissions.
I don't know. Yeah.
There may be permissions. Roles. Let's do this. I don't know. What does that mean? Does that help?
Hold on.
I'm just clicking.
Yes.
I'm clicking
something's
everything.
Happened. I'm going to turn on the camera.
The permissions thing. I so suck at the permissions thing.
Hey, there we go.
Hey, there he is. Fantastic.
Hey, don't mind the mess behind.
No. It's set dressing.
Indeed, yeah. It's just a guitar and drums and stuff in the background. It's all just.
So you add musician to all this as well, then.
Musician is a hobby.
Yeah.
Because I everything else before was a hobby, and then it became a job. Then you kind of you don't hate it, but you kind of like, I got to do that thing I like.
You got to be careful. It's true, because it does the things you love change when they become jobs, for sure. Sometimes for good. I mean, the money's good, but yeah, I agree. You've got to be slightly careful about that. So.
All right, so I've got a bit of an example here. This little guy here is a cool blue box. Check out the blue box.
All right.
It's blue and boxy. I know I've got some light here, but we'll do it here. But it's both blue and boxy. Now, at first glances, it looks like it will open like any other box, but look at that.
Damn it.
Thwarted
already.
Open.
That's it. Everyone go home.
That's it. Give up. That's it. Game over. Just throw in the towel. Of course. Ooh, that bang off a thing. But anyway, of course, it won't open because there is a puzzle that needs to be solved. And this right here is actually the basic sort of concept behind one of our spaceship, or behind actually the spaceship room. It is the final puzzle where you put all the pieces together and you put it all together and you figure it all out. So how this works is the exact same way as that will work, but a much grander scale. So this is kind of like a little example. So
it's like a mini version. Hang on one second. Let me see. I think I may have Gimpy G here. Let me see if I can drag him into the chat. Where is he? Nice. Why is he not in there?
I sent a message to him and he said, "Hey, getting food, and if people get cranky if he's streaming at the same time, he'll be in soon."
Sorry, he's chosen food over us. What a jerk.
Yes. Who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't? Thank you, Five Pup, who chooses food over us every day, basically. Yeah. All right. So the blue box is an example of what you're doing on a larger scale with the whole escape room.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
We got some drowning light. There we go. Perfect. All right. Anyway,
now it looks like I'm interrogating you.
Tell us how it works, man.
You will tell us the secrets of the escape room.
Yes. Right. So, secrets of the escape room is first and foremost, what's going on here? Well, we see that it's not just a normal standard box. It's got like some weird thing here going on. Well, if we kind of move this guy, this piece here can be moved. The reason why is because it's a magnet.
I'm sensing something. Well, Vipup, got any thoughts?
To use the magnet to pull something inside of the box.
Very close. Very close.
So the magnet.
If I remove the magnet,
okay,
you'll actually see something very cool. Black X.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it's hard to see that, but okay. Yes. All right. A black X.
I'll get right in there.
Very good. And that's usually X marks the spot. So maybe we have to put something on there or something, or.
So we've removed the magnet, and now we've seen an X here. The cooler thing is if you actually look around the whole box, you'll see that there's absolutely nothing going on except for in the back. There's a small X.
The magnet there.
You do want to put your magnet there. So when you do, the magnet will snap in. You can actually hear it. That little click.
Oh, cool. Oh, see, that's a satisfying sound. Okay, all right.
You have it there. The magnet sticks inside, and of course, the box will freely open. Once it does open, we can actually see this is a very rough build, but this is exactly how it all works together. This is my sort of diagram, a rough build for you all.
Oh, that's cool. So you've had to set up little electric switches and magnets and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. Well, what we've essentially made is it's basically like known as a reed switch. Here, I've got a couple here.
Oh, yeah.
So essentially a reed switch is like a little tiny like glass little bubble. They're probably even too small to see here. But then there's like 20 of them right there. That's how small
they used to have mercury in them, didn't they? Used to have mercury that would flow back and forth or something?
Kind of. And this one here, they have like little tiny little filaments that are microns apart. And they're magnetic, so but on one side, right? So when you have a magnet pass over them, it snaps the other magnet
together, and they make
the
connection. Oh, sweet. Okay, all right.
That's essentially what we've done here, but at a much grander scale. So if I kind of zoom in here, let me get my light a little lower here. There we go.
Now it's like a J.J. Abrams movie.
There we go. I'm terrible at lighting. But even worse at it there. There we go. Anyway, we'll get right in there so you guys can really see. So inside we've got going on, we've got this here. This is like a mag pin lock. So this thing here, when electricity hits it, this is like a weird OnlyFans video. Hold on.
I don't know what you're watching.
Anyway, when electricity hits this, it actually forces an electromagnet inside of there to force this guy up inside like that.
How do we get? Okay, wait. Sorry. Gippy G's coming in here. But how do I do this?
I gave him a thing.
Will he join us then? Oh, hello.
Am I in still?
I don't know whether you're in our. Are you in our chat or are you? Oh no, I've dropped out of the chat to answer this. Shoot. Okay.
Okay, go.
I'll give you an invite. I'll give you another invite, or use the invite that
Vibe sent me when I clicked on it. I'll try it again.
All right.
Okay. Bye. Good.
All right.
Other X.
We're back again. He came.
Yeah.
We came in a different way. He's gonna try
you.
coming in. Let me see if I can do this. I don't want to leave Gimpy G out.
Sure. Well, we'll kind of reset from this moment. Reset. That's a term that we use when you want to both put everything back to the way it was.
Do you ever have to do that?
Back to zero.
Do
we
you
have
ever
to reset
have to
all the time? Yeah.
But I mean, like during someone's game, do you have to do that or no?
No. Like after they're done their hour, they finish up, then we go in. We have about maybe 20 minutes, but it only takes us about 5 because we know where the puzzles and pieces go.
Right.
And yeah, it takes about 5-10 minutes to reset the room for the next people.
Huh. There he is. Ladies and gentlemen, Gimpy G has joined us. Let me go big screen
Randy.
on Randy. So
Hey.
we
Loving
can
it
see.
so
there.
far, bud.
Loving it so far. Oh, you have been paying attention.
Heck yeah.
Oh, Gippy
Oh,
G's
nice.
everywhere.
What's in the box?
He's
The
everywhere all the
blue
time.
box.
What's in the big blue box?
It's in the box. All right. Well, some of you may notice the box is actually electrically powered.
Right.
Well,
But yeah, I did this on purpose. I actually had it built where it was a battery inside, but it was so well built you couldn't see how everything was operating. So now I had to kind of loosen it up even further, I guess.
Ha.
Anyway,
It was
So
too
as-
well integrated.
right? I guess. When you're good, you're good, I guess. Right, so anyway, we've placed the magnet on the back there. It is, of course, clicked that piece together now. Of course, inside, well, this is what's going on. This is what's going on. We've essentially made a reed switch, essentially. So what here, and this piece of copper, there's a piece of copper right here. Unplugged just because we're messing with electricity. This piece of safety first, folks. Anyway, so
it's a
this
way
piece of
better
copper-
video if you don't unplug it first. It's just
We'll get way
electrocuting.
more
I think so,
views.
too. Yeah.
Anyway, so right here on this piece of little strip of copper, there is a magnet that's been secured to it. So it's actually there's actually one right in the fold of this piece of copper.
Right.
Now on the back here, we have another strip of copper that has been secured in place. So both the copper here and the copper here. This one is on a 90-degree angle, perpendicular here to the box here.
Yeah.
So now, when you place that magnet on there, this is what happens. Now, obviously, without the power, nothing's going to pop here, but you'll see.
So that's entirely just magnetic. That's great. Okay. And that
That's
connects
just
the
a magnet,
switch.
yeah. That, of course, because it's copper, allows the electricity to flow to the next thing, which, of course, is here, completing our circuit all the way to this guy.
Nice.
Just like that. Now,
And then is that some kind of an electric door lock you've got on the other side there?
Essentially, it's a mag pin lock. That's you could find them in like security things. I mean, most you could find them for like cars, car dealing things like magnetic. What is it? The remote keyless hatch openings for your.
Oh wow!
For your,
Okay. All right.
Yeah, they're essentially this. That's what they are. Is just a thing that shoots in, allowing things to pop out. So here it is in full action. You can see everything. Now, of course, because the copper strip here is, and it's so low voltage. I mean, this thing is like a laptop charger thing. It's so low voltage.
Right.
But you can just see how it just goes in, just like that.
That's fun. That's really
It
fun.
allows
I could
for
see
the
VibePup building something like that.
I would probably accidentally make it explode.
Or just lock yourself in a room.
and all up there. There's the little hinge that it all connects to, and
Now, is
Yeah.
this something you just futzed around with until you got it right, or are there places you can learn this stuff? I know there's a guy when I was doing my research into this, there's a professor at Wilfrid Laurier who teaches game theory. He's like literally a professor of gaming.
yes, yes.
And he's one who his name is Scott Nicholson, I believe it's Scott Nicholson, who is referred to in almost everything I saw about gaming and escape rooms. But where did you learn this stuff? You self-taught?
Well, kind of a little bit of knowing what's out there already, and kind of having my own schema of things, thinking of it as a magician or as a sort of a prop builder or something like that. And of course, I actually found one of my old books that I really liked this thing, and when it came out, I found it really cool. But nonetheless, it was one of the 1976 is when this came out.
Oh,
What's it called?
It is called. I've lost the cover.
Sorry, VibePup, for you, it's called a book. For us, the
That's it.
title of the book is More Games for the Super Intelligent. Ooh.
More games for the super intelligent.
That's like daring you to pick it up.
Right? And inside it just has a series of very interesting puzzles. Ones that ones that you may have even remember as like the hourglass one, where you have two hourglasses, one at one height and one at the other, and you have to make 5 minutes out of flipping around both of them.
Oh,
or whatever,
right. Yes. Or
So-
filling buckets with only.
Lethal Weapon 3. No, not Lethal Weapon. Die Hard 3.
Was it in that?
yeah, Samuel Jackson and what's his face were in a park, and they had to get exactly the right amount of fluid in a jug, or else the bomb was going to go off.
That was Lethal Weapon?
Simon.
Huh.
Lethal Weapon 3.
All right. I'm not sure if I got as far as Lethal Weapon 3. I know, probably
I think
did.
we're on
I must
99
Oh,
right now.
Mr. Fancy.
Missed a few.
No, I probably did, but I don't. Okay, so I have to check that out then.
Randy, have you ever heard of Scotch and soda? The trick Scotch and soda?
Yes, I have. Yep.
Oh, that's how I got my first job. We
Really?
were like Penn and Teller, except it was my cousin who didn't like to talk but could move his hands. So I'd do all the banter and he'd do all the trickery.
Ha.
And then we ripped the fireworks stand guy off, and he liked it so much he let us run that very fireworks stand. So
Nice.
Really?
yeah, we were like 15 years old too. So
Oh, that's very cool. What is the trick? What is the
Well, to not give too much away, it's essentially
Right.
It's a coin-based effect. Am I right, Gimpy?
Yep.
It's the coin-based effect where essentially one coin, nice bright silvery coin, turns into a coppery coin.
Oh, interesting. So it goes from a scotch to a soda, or a soda to a scotch. Got it. Okay, the coloring.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
All right, but sorry, we won't knock you off track. So you designed the blue box, the space escape room that you're working on. There's a lot of those kind of puzzles, or what's the connection there?
This is so exciting.
Yeah.
I love this.
So essentially, the whole idea of it is that these puzzles, I've taken things like from this book, where it's a simple like a Fibonacci sequence or something like that, or even something as cool as the Pigpen cipher, which is, I don't know if anyone knows it here. I could teach it to you guys. It's very, very cool. It's a way of actually delivering information through a code that is easily, like, the cipher itself can be made on the spot, which is very.
Oh,
very,
I know. Tic-tac-toe.
Yes, you know.
Okay, good.
Great. You guys just keep talking in puzzles. That'd be great.
Right. Quantum. I don't know.
I love this stuff.
Just throw quantum in front of everything.
Yeah.
What? So you mean, is it like Pig Latin, as they used to call it, where they just?
No. Okay, I can give this one, right, Randy?
If you want to, I can help with drawing it for you.
Oh, well, you can go ahead, but imagine a tic-tac-toe, okay, David?
Mm.
And that if you fill in the top left space with an A, well, you know what? He is going to have to draw it. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to explain to you.
I got you. 1 minute.
So it's like a positional thing?
It is. So that upper left-hand thing that the A is in is shaped like a backwards L.
Right.
Correct.
So the L becomes the A?
Right. And then the U becomes a B. The actual L becomes a C. Now, if you'll notice, you can make it more complicated by putting various... yeah, he'll show you.
I'm just trying to keep up with you.
So you're just seeing the pattern
in a book,
and you're just seeing the pattern.
Right. Well, it's just kind of it's a cipher that you and a friend could know and leave each other messages, and it's not that complicated. You don't have to do math or anything. You just have to.
So it's a good puzzle. It's a good cipher to have for a dumb friend.
Yeah.
So this is what essentially it looks like, right, KB?
Yep.
Okay. So sorry, I've used one of my gaming sheets.
Nice little product placement. Nice. I love it.
But anyway, livepubquiz.com.
Yeah, that's it.
.ca.
Sorry, what was that again? What was the name of that again? It was
livepubquiz.com.
There you go. Check it out, folks.
Oh, Gimpy, let me hear yours. That was really good.
I Mayor of Munchkinland. Only bats and some rabbits can hear it.
Yeah, but they want them there too.
Yeah.
They'll take anybody.
All right, so here's a really cool code, little puzzle thing.
All right.
This is actually something we actually utilize in one of our rooms. So you've got like a tic-tac-toe thing filled out here. Now, essentially, you are going to put in the basic of concept is you're going to put in the alphabet, E, F, G, By the way, I've got a really cool thing of how to do.
Why have I never heard of this? I guess this is, for some reason, I guess I never went down the rabbit hole on this stuff.
I guess you've never read a book.
Well, there's that. It's true. Books are hard unless there's a lot of pictures. I really,
Okay, this is how I learned it. Piers Anthony, do you know who that is?
I do. I remember I used to read a lot of his stuff.
Right. Well, he wrote a series of books called Bio of a Space Tyrant. They put him in a room and he would lose his memory every day. So he put this cipher underneath the poop and filth at the bottom of his cage
to remember,
so he could feel it and remind himself what he did the day before.
It's amazing how it always comes down to poop and filth.
Thank you. Poop and filth. Segue into Randy the Magic Man.
There you go. Speaking of poop and filth, let's talk to Randy the Magic Man about this cipher. All right, there you go.
All right. So maybe I should get a little kid, a teenager with an iPhone to follow me around with a camera and document my life. This is actually pretty fun.
See?
This is what I got to do. Yeah. Anyway, so here is a cool little thing. Sorry, my writing is atrocious, but essentially it is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, all the way to all here. Now, if I were to write something in code like this, right here, this is the code that the person would receive. It looks like Ludo or Lucco with a backwards C or something. You don't know.
Right.
But it's actually based off the shapes of where the letters live. So if I come over here and I find this kind of down and over, now it doesn't have a dot or anything like this. This has a dot here. This side doesn't. So if it doesn't have a dot, it indicates that it's from the top row. It comes down and over just like that C. So that first one.
Okay.
See, I am writing backwards.
That's hard to do. That's hard to do. That's fine.
Right,
That's yeah.
But anyway, and I make the same move here, down, over, up. Now it looks like a U, but in fact it's over here. If I come over here with, actually, you know what? I should have a dot there. I apologize.
Okay.
Down.
Right. It makes the cipher even more difficult if you get it wrong.
Indeed.
Yeah.
If I get it right. So if down, over, up with the circle in it.
We got O.
Allow it. Gives me the O. And now I make that same move over here. Down, over.
D.
Down, over. That is, of course, a D. Writing backwards
and
upside down.
No, you got it. You got it.
Of course, the last one here is just the inside here. That box.
Oh, neat. Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Is our code.
Fantastic.
So, Fantastic.
Now, you can, of course, complicate this up. You can use things like keywords. So you can use a 5-letter word that starts off, and then you write the alphabet with the remaining letters after it.
Oh.
So now the thing is slightly shifted, but off by a keyword that now.
Yeah, because some nerd is going to go and memorize all of that so that they can quickly, there's going to be someone who does that. They're like the same people who learn how to do. Who learn how to do what is it, the Morse code stuff.
Right.
There's always some nerd who knows how to speak in Morse code. Like there's always,
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, David, tell us that in Klingon.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Oh, I've stuck my face right over. All right, hang on a second. I've screwed up on my stream here. Wait a second. Poor Randy the Magic Man's face is actually my face.
Poor Randy. I'm so sorry, Randy.
Yeah, I apologize.
I've been superimposed this whole time.
Yeah, the tech support. Well, no, we see you. It's just that you had my head. There you go. It's fine. There you go. It's all.
Do I get a stunt double credit now?
That's it. Yeah, your body double. You're my body double. That's it.
There we go.
See.
Hold on. I've got my cool shirt on.
Trust me, I'm the doctor. Aha. Mine says, "Trust me, I'm another doctor."
Yeah.
Or the other doctor.
Yes, you're a doctor.
I've attempted to play one on television. All right, so so you've got codes, you've got ciphers, you've got magnetic boxes. What ties these together? I mean, I'm assuming there's a sense of storytelling to this, right? There's a narrative angle to this as well.
Yeah, so there is a bit. I just realized the microphone's in the shot.
People love that. It looks like a real podcast when there's a microphone in it. It's good. Yeah.
This is my voice acting microphone that I put a whole bunch of stuff over it and then rip it all off later.
What, to stop like a pop filter type thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So yeah, what puts it all together? Yeah, we do have a little bit of theme works, right? So the idea behind the space room, for instance, is that you're meant to get all these little power cores. And then of course in the power cores, they actually have the magnets on the bottom of the power core. So when they fit into the little slotted piece, that's where the reed switch, comes into play and snaps them all together. But with that, the whole idea is that you have to find these power cores somewhere. So, it's not just throw a box in there with a lock. It's okay. We want some reason. Why is this particular puzzle in here? What makes it fit the room? One of the ones we have is in the space room is that you actually have to put your hands into this like experiment box thing. But it's like the gloves, right? Where you have the glove wall and the little experiment glove hands.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Like the hazmat thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
For working with aliens.
Right. So the idea is that you can put your hands in there, but you can't see inside. So it's like, okay, so there's something in there that you can move around, but you can't see it for some reason.
Wait, I just thought of 2 ways to make money that way. Okay, go ahead.
Go on.
No.
Neither of which I'm sure are appropriate for TechBandits.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. In that case, no. Anyway, yeah. So, the whole idea is that you have to go find an endoscopic camera. Then you can find this, and you.
I know where to find one. David,
I'm not going there. I'm not even humoring you on this.
All right.
Okay, fine.
No jumping off point for you.
Do you get to?
So
are
you're
you worried about people breaking stuff? Do you make them sign something? Because I would worry about them breaking your box to get in.
I'm assuming people will at times, right?
Sure. Well, here's the thing: is people actively pay money to come in to
yeah,
do
true.
This. So I mean, it's not like they're coming in for a free trial and going, okay, we liked it, we passed, here's your money. We already got the money up front before they even enter into space. Sometimes even before they even come into the door, they book it online and stuff. But even beyond all that, I mean, I'm not entirely too worried because I mean, a lot of our props and stuff, I mean, they can handle birthday parties of 10-year-olds. So.
Right.
If they can handle that,
at this point.
They are damn near indestructible.
Yeah.
Well, and you're not. It's not like you're putting glass vases in these rooms or anything. That would just be.
We had at one point we had like these ceramic eggs. At one point, well, not ceramic, more like a plasticky type of. Yeah. But anyway, it was we had all these, and we had one of the clues was that different letters were on them, and you had to get them all and find out the letters that were missing. And well, they were just fragile eggs, so children thought something was in them, like a Kinder Surprise, and they would smash the living crap out of them.
Oh my God! That's exactly what I would do. Yeah.
Right. So at first it was like, okay, we'll just replace them. We'll just keep replacing them, and it's like, you know what? Let's buy wooden ones and just paint them white and see what happens. So it, to appease Skimpy there, it certainly worked itself out. The kid stepped on it. He hurt his foot.
Oh, really?
Yay!
Oh, wow. They never stepped on them again. So that was that.
That's so funny though, because you're dealing with completely unpredictable. Completely unpredictable. Even, I mean, look, it could be 10-year-olds, it could be drunk, whatever, businessmen. I mean, it's the same issue, right? You sort of gotta. I guess there's no way to plan for every possible eventuality, but you're going to get better and better at it the longer you play these things, the longer you do these things.
The sort of mantra I go into it is, if something happened that was sort of negative before, put something up so that thing will never happen again. So it may have happened to that one person, it will never happen to the next person.
There was a great one of the videos that I watched, and I'll try to pull a list of them for later. But they were sort of going through the mechanics of how this escape room worked, and at one point, one of the people in the video started like using a knife that they had to poke into a vent system. But because because they had cameras and because they had a voice thing, their master of ceremony could get on the mic and say like, "Hey, what did that vent ever do to you? Leave it alone." Like that kind of stuff. Like, it was smart the way they ran with it. There was an interesting sort of improv element to it as well.
We certainly have that capability as well. We actually have in one of the rooms, we actually have 3 cameras, all in different angles. We have simple setup. I'd say one of them room is actually just decked out with baby monitors, but it's just something that we can hear.
Right.
But I mean, essentially, it's we can kind of keep eyes on everything. We usually have a spiel that we kind of say in the beginning. It's like, everything in the room is all you will need. You won't need to take any outside tools with you. Leave your cell phones if you need to, leave them in the lockers or something.
And do you have like a?
Do you sell? Go ahead.
I was gonna say one of the things that came up a lot was like if you reuse locks or not. Like once you've opened a lock, it's done. It's not. You don't need to. We'll never need to use it again. That kind of thing, or is that?
I mean, locks. Obviously, certain locks can just be reused. Of course, having just a different combination at the end of it.
No, but I mean like for within the room. In running the room, once they have figured out how to open that lock is now done. You don't have to save it to use as something else later or anything. Yeah. Okay.
Essentially, yeah.
There was some neat mechanics things that I learned about all these things that I would never have thought of that are required to help people, get through these rooms. So.
Well, here's actually a really interesting lock that actually trips up most people. I'll show you. One sec.
Oh, I gotta go back. This is cool.
What were you going to ask, Lance?
I was wondering if they sold the video of the time to the people. Like if you ride
that's smart.
roller coaster. Yeah.
He's got a good question for you here, Randy.
Oh, what's up?
I was wondering if you sold the video back to the people so that they could relive that night, or if they did something funny, or
it's actually a really smart idea.
We do something called short-term recording. So essentially, it only does 2 hours of recording, and then it kind of loops itself over and over and over again. So if the people want it, we go, yeah, we can make it up for you, but you can't call 2 hours later and say, hey, can we get the tape? Because it's probably copied over by then.
Right.
But, it's mainly just like a privacy issue. I
guess you can't keep. Yeah. And you don't want footage of that kid stepping on the broken egg.
No.
It's too easy. It's too easy.
Sometimes you do. Sometimes you do. But,
but anyway. Personal.
Just a karma thing.
I got my big lock. This is my example of locks.
Oh my god!
This is
like everyone. That's like their keychains. It's like I feel.
Man, your locks are huge.
Yeah. What do you got? What do you got on there? These are just different types of locks.
Yeah, just different lights. So this one here actually trips up people the most, and this is actually known as a directional lock. So it actually looks like it spins here, like one of those combination locks for your locker, but it actually goes up, down, left, and right.
We need it.
And it's a variation. It's a variation of that as well. So that means it can go like 4 to the left, 4 to the up, right, all that either direction. But only north, south, east, or west. But it can do it up to 15 in either direction. 15.
Holy crap! Wow.
So and that means like you would go, east 4 times, north 3 times.
Oh, that's perfect for this kind of thing.
Right? So now you're kind of getting you can use puzzles that the end results are now not numbers or letters.
Yeah.
But north, south.
But now directions, right?
Oh, I like that.
Nice.
So the one thing that absolutely tripped these up, and if anybody's watching that's coming down, 2 things. 1, I have a very cool gift for everyone who does come down to the escape room. And 2, please pay attention because this is like very vital information. Mark Rober tells you about this in YouTube.
Oh,
okay?
I think I saw this. Okay, yep.
In order for this lock to work, you could put the right code in for days. It won't open. Won't open, but have to reset it because essentially what's going on in here is this is a 4-wheel combination, and every time that you push up, it turns that click just over 1, right? And if you do that again, so now it means, it's up here, but then this one turns, so now these both turn at the same time, right?
You've mixed up the Rubik's Cube. Yep.
Exactly. So you have to put it in a reset state, and the easiest way to do that is either to push it down like this, like you're locking it.
Okay, to start over. Oh, I love that.
And that's how you reset the mechanism inside. Or if it's up against the Haspin lock or the whatever, right? You just push it up like that. It will then, of course, free up like that. It looks like it's not locked, or it still looks like it locked, but it is. You just swivel free. There it is. So
and that is cool.
This is a really neat lock. I think it is.
I love that lock.
I mean, go on to Amazon right now. Just take a look. Directional locks.
Really?
Just take a look.
You want to bring that up? You want to bring up the fact that my wife has banned me from Amazon?
I'm just saying.
Randy, you need to keep like certain things like that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, buddy.
Sorry, Gippy.
I was just going to say you could keep merch. You could sell those at the.
Oh.
Well, here's the thing. There was apparently, and this is, each job, each profession has its own sort of drama and scandals. Believe it or not, the last 2 years, these directional locks have been very, very hard to find. And thus, the price of these have gone up. So you're looking at a gold mine right here. I mean, I've got, yeah. It's the whole supply and demand, right?
So there's like a supply chain issue with it or something now? They're like...
Probably.
It's just not a common lock that they make, so...
And if Mark Rober shows them on his video, of course everyone's going to go run out and buy them. Vipup, have you seen that? Have you seen that video that Mark Rober did on escape rooms?
I don't think I have.
What? I thought of everybody you would have seen that. It's a good one. I'll put a link in. It's really good.
Do so, because we actually reference it a lot.
Oh, do you?
A lot of people, because a lot of people that come in because it's like, oh, hey, well, have you seen us? Have you been to us? Oh, no. Well, I did. Before coming here, I did my research and I watched an episode of the YouTube. Did you watch the whole video? No. Really should.
The 10 escape tips?
Oh, he gives you some great tips.
I actually screen grabbed the 10 escape room tips because I thought they were so good.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. I mean, it's not just rush into a room and just try to do everything kind of thing. Really focus your efforts on certain things. And if you just can't do it, pass it off. Pass it off to someone who can.
Yeah.
It's good to have many minds working in the same room. I keep saying, if there was more of me, I'd get so many things done, but then I know I would just distract myself. Like, hey, Randy, look at this really cool thing I found. And
it's so true. I do that anyways. Yeah. One of the things that Robert talks about, which I thought was interesting, was like sometimes, the reason why you're doing it in teams is sometimes you need to step away. Like in one case, he had I guess some kind of a color combination thing, or no, maybe this is another video that had a color combination. And he's like colorblind. You're not gonna know. You're not gonna see it. So switch around, see if people have different perspectives on things. So
for instance, one of the clues that we have in the space room is actually an audio clue that you actually have to put headphones on to listen. And someone had come in and I was like, oh well. You're deaf. Obviously, you can't hear. How am I going to do this? So I put another clue somewhere where it actually had the closed caption of what was in the audio clue, but it was mixed in with the code. So
nice.
You get the same information now, just from different sources on different ways that you can do it as well.
I wonder if there are like accessible escape rooms. That's that. I mean, because I would think
that would be stuck for me.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying you have to put me in the middle of the room and then. It'd be so hard to make it accessible. Like, what are you gonna do? Well, see, I would just be the brain.
I was just thinking. I was like, if you had the right team with you, you could just you could look around. You could be like solving puzzles like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they could use you for the brain.
Exactly.
I'll just have you in the control room with me, and then you can see all the gizmos and all the traps and.
Oh, it looks like someone has developed an accessible escape room.
Do
you mean just that you can get your wheelchair into it?
I think. By the sound of it,
Randy,
it's like for that, and also there's for the blind they have braille stuff. I mean, it looks like it's kind of cool actually.
Well, Randy just said he made his accessible for the hearing impaired, so he's got one too.
Perfect. There you go. That's right.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. It's just just making sure that everyone can enjoy the fun. I don't know.
Well, and that is the whole point.
I'm no hero, but if you want to call me one.
I wonder, could you make it so that, like, at one point you just black the lights out, so a vision impaired person would be the hero during that part? Like the puzzle was geared towards them. Just one, thinking.
See, that's the thing.
And everyone else freaks out.
Once you get the gerbil rolling, I'm going to be thinking about this all night now. And now tomorrow you're going to get like a whole PDF plan of how I come up with it.
But that's what I found. That's what I really found with this whole escape room thing is I found myself going like, oh, you could use an Arduino for that, and you could use like a laser sensor for that, and there'd be all these amazing. Like it's actually I don't understand why it's not being taught in school because what a great series of different things. You've got working as a team. You've got all these kind of design and narrative elements. You've got acting. You've got presentation. You've got business. Like it's like there's a whole bunch of elements here. They should be just teaching this stuff as a high school course.
And I mean,
that would be great.
Of course, the most important thing when you're in an escape room is when you do have a team. I'm sure we both know what that most important thing is. Possibly leadership.
Teamwork makes.
Is what?
Leadership.
Leadership, indeed. Let me talk about that for you. Well, it's funny. The problem is that everyone wants to be leaders, right? That's usually the issue.
Well, that's the thing is, but yeah, with the escape room, it's definitely you need that one person is doing the things, one person is the problem solver, one's really good with math, so he's the one working out all the numbers or whatever, right? But leadership skills,
yeah, very good. They're needed, and I could be that leader. I'm going to do a couple. I do a couple of leadership things right now. I'm just going to say thank you very much to Robert4483 for the subscription. Is there anyone else? Have I missed other people in here?
Thanks, Robert.
There's been so much great chatting going on. I don't even know where to start. And of course, if anyone's seen Cal, somebody lock in a room and see if she can get out.
No.
Yeah. Cal, that's our plan is to put you in a room and see if we can get you out. I bet you Cal's done an escape room. I feel like she's the sort of person who would do that.
Sure.
Had you done a lot of escape rooms before you got into this stuff, or is that?
Well, kind of. Yeah. I mean, I was building props and stuff for other magicians, and you kind of get used to building secret stuff. I guess I don't know.
I'm building secret stuff.
Lack of a better way to describe it. I've got.
Like these are like designs for people's like magic shows and stuff.
Yeah. It was just here a moment ago. It's probably somewhere else. But never mind. It's right here. So, find my giant sign of live pub quiz winners. Winners get to hold on to that when they're a winner.
I'm just moving you around the screen, trying to make it bigger.
Can he hear us?
I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Can you hear me?
Do you think? Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I was wondering, do you think you've caused any divorces and/or marital spats?
You blame IKEA if they do the same thing?
Yeah. No, it's not your fault.
I do. I totally blame IKEA.
If you're both building the thing, I mean. No, I've personally never seen, I've never seen people getting angry and yelling at each other because I think when you're being watched, you kind of tone down whatever you got going, unless you're like a real big jerk.
Jane's going to get mad at me for sure because I'm going to do something stupid. I know that's not, we can have an argument.
He's going to be licking the walls.
It's going to be like, oh, God. Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, that was one of the things that there was actually a podcast they did about escape rooms. Something I've noticed, Canada, really big on escape rooms.
Yeah,
really?
They're kind of,
they're
all
over
over
the place.
outside.
Well, Canada and Australia as well. And they're not that cold.
It's hot outside.
Would you like to come into a room where it's heated for an hour? Sure.
Maybe that's it. I'll pay for that. I'll pay big money for that. And then pay you not to kick me out again. So
can you?
Yeah, go get G. Go.
Well, okay. I was wondering if in video games how they ramp up the tension. Like, let's say your guy's almost dead, and they start hitting you with the boop 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 boop, or that noise that's like putting you on edge.
So was that your countdown sound?
The boss music?
Well, no, like
boop,
like when your guy's almost dead, and it's like dee, 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 and it ramps up.
The rush music.
Do you try to like build tension with different like audio and visual things?
Yeah, we do. For instance, the one with the space room, when it kicks into half hour, and then at 15 minutes, when you have half hour, 15 minutes left, David's voice actually pops up every now and then.
What could be more terrifying than that?
And it's just like, oh, no, you guys got to hurry. We got to get the power cords in the thing. And then, yeah.
So, and that's something that would just go off automatically at that. That's not triggered by them. Are you triggering audio cues based on what people do as well? Or
kind of.
She said the time.
It's a really interesting program that we kind of utilize. It's actually developed by a guy here in Canada.
See, Canada.
But it's called Clue Control. It's very, very, very cool program. You can essentially put in your clues. You can make them audio, video. You can time things. It has a countdown timer. It allows for all of those sort of operations. And of course, you can type things in, and all of this goes to a second monitor inside the room. So we can see we can see it on our screen. But then we can also see they have a second monitor in their screen that we can also utilize for like background effects. So if we want the help screen to not look like a help screen, but say, I don't know, looking out of the front of the spaceship with all the cool stars whizzing by, then, we can make it look like that. And, yeah, we can, a little bit of atmosphere, really.
$65 a month.
Yeah.
That's not bad. If it's running your entire system, I think that's pretty freaking great.
I mean, you get the program. Now, coming up with all this stuff and putting it in and timing it, that's
your problem.
That's you.
You got to kind of sit down and work it all out. Right. But the program itself, I mean, it's quite intuitive. It's very easy to figure it all out. And we were doing kind of things like PowerPoint at one point. But it just wasn't working for us as an automatic thing.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to be able to kind of click the button, walk away if we needed to, and then kind of keep eyes. Oh, if they need help, we can come over. We know which button to press, just because it would keep track of things automatically.
Right.
It's very cool. I mean, it's got Z-Wave stuff in there as well. So this means
Z-Wave was the old automation system for the house automation stuff.
Yeah. So it's this stuff is kind of built into the system as well, which allows. So if a lock is opened or whatever, it'll automatically put a message up on the screen for you, which is very cool.
Oh, I love that stuff. God, this is like total maker nerd heaven.
It is.
Oh yes. Oh, you could basically goof around in the back. You can build a silly blue box for a Twitch channel. And just out of whatever's lying around. I think it's just kind of fun because I get to test puzzles, and because we kind of interact with other escape rooms, we get to see what they're building, and we get to see all the cool technologies that they're using. One of the things we used to have was a picture that you actually had to cover the eyes of the picture in order for it to drop a key out of a magnet, an electromagnet that was holding onto a key. And so it used photo sensors in the eyes. So the same thing that you would see like in a Glade plugin or something, like those kind of things. And it would cover it up and you would drop it. And I just thought that was really cool, like the whole mechanism in the back on the circuitry board and all. It's so much fun to be able to get in there and just.
That's really neat because there's a practical element to it. There's a robotics almost level to it. How do you? What are the steps that you go through to design a room? Like, do they come to you and say, like, look, we got to do a horror room, like, or a zombie room or something, or an escape or a heist room or something? Like, well, how would you go about building the room? Do you start with the story? Do you start with the mechanics? What do you work with?
Yeah, kind of. It's a bit both. Like if we're going into it thinking, okay, we're gonna design a new room, we gotta come up with something. Usually at that time, it's story first. It's coming up with why are they there? What are they searching for? What's the finish line? What's the beginning, middle, and end? However, there has been times where we've just seen a puzzle and we go, "Oh man, that would look really cool. Where would we put that? I guess we can it's
nice.
kind of
Yep.
spacey or it's kind of wizardy. We could maybe make a wizard room off of this." And
so
then
you'll
the
build
ideas
the
start,
story
yeah.
around the actual contraption. Oh, that's neat. I
Yeah.
guess that's very sort of like script writing, where you sort of like you can start with the story, you can start with the scene you have in your head. Like there's a lot of, I guess, jumping off points. But there must be I'm assuming you got to be fairly meticulous with this, otherwise you're going to be just chasing your own tail. Like once you start actually building the stuff and figuring out where things go and stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like being. It's kind of strange. It's kind of like being a director, where in your head,
Yeah.
you're seeing how you want the story to play out. You're directing actors that can only follow you if they listen to clues, if they follow the clue, right?
Right.
So they have to first ask for the clues, ask for that direction, but then after that, if they kind of figure it out on their own, you realize that a lot of people end up having different ways of getting to the exact same ending, which is kind of really interesting.
Yeah. That's
Because, for
diversity.
instance-
I mean, that's the beautiful thing about diversity, right? Is that you just get people have different ways of thinking.
And I absolutely love it. In my brain, it's kind of like I go on Thursdays, I get paid to do Dungeons and Dragons, and I come up with a cool puzzle for that for my players, and then I go, well, what would that look like if I built that in real life? What kind of mechanism could I make that would make it so that it would function the way that I had said it did in the story in my Dungeons and Dragons? So now I get paid to come up with ideas for stories, Dungeons and Dragons, and then I also get paid to build this stuff for fun.
Ooh, he's
So what you
using his
gotta
homework
do-
twice.
You got to come up with ideas that you're doing the dungeon mastering for, and then you go like, and if you really want to do it for real, come over to my, there you go.
Yeah.
You get like referrals.
That was the kind of the natural leap I was thinking, I was hoping for. The next plan is to do some LARPing escape rooms, which is gonna be fun.
What? So
in
live
the spring.
action role playing.
Yes, live action role playing, where people will be dressing up in their characters or a character or whatever, and they come
Fireball.
out and yes, and they come out and be just a fireball. And they're going to come out and it'll have like Dungeons and Dragons styled themed rooms or space style theme rooms and things like that.
So Trekkies could show up in their outfits, and there was apparently there was a convention that they did like a 24-hour bridge, where they basically did the bridge from Star Trek, and for 24 hours they would switch in and out teams, as if it was a real 24 hours of being on the bridge, which I thought was kind of cool.
Ooh, that's stamina there.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, you don't have to be up
fun
all
of a
night,
job.
but the because the players
Oh,
would
okay.
swap out because their shifts would be over. But yeah. I thought it was kind of a cool approach. Oh, the other one I heard that I thought was brilliant. There's a show that I recommend to people all the time called the show that goes wrong show. Have you seen this? It's
the show that goes wrong show. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So it's basically a show about amateur theater going wrong, or amateur television basically going wrong. Like they build the set at the wrong dimensions. There are issues with all of the tech or whatever. I see a new trap showing up. You got something else for us there?
Well, kind of. I was just kind of setting it up there.
No, that's good. Because
he's fine.
You know me, I'm terrible on topic. But anyways, someone did these Australian folks did an escape room that was based on this show goes wrong, and your job is to try to fix this show from going wrong as it goes on, which I thought was just a brilliant take on it as well.
We did have, I thought it was really cool. We had this lock contraption where it looked like it was locked, like a big iron sort of lock with a keyhole. If you found the key and if you found one part of it or whatever, there's two parts to it, but if you just found one, it would go in, it would turn, but then the whole bottom would just drop out. the top would still stay on. So then you had to get the other key to unlock underneath to actually undo it. So it was like a two-lock system, and it was very funny to watch these people go up and boom, and then they think they broke it.
Oh no!
Can we start again?
Were you worried, Randy, when you saw the new what do they call it? When the Hasbro tried to make new rules for D&D, where if you made money off of it, you could actually owe them money?
No, they didn't.
Yes, they leaked it. Everybody lost their minds, and then now they've pulled back on it.
And so they're just gouging us Magic the Gathering players instead.
Well, that's a given, yeah.
All right.
There's a lot to be said about IP, right? So
right.
Yeah, but also fan bases. Like,
yes.
Embrace your fan base, because that's otherwise you don't have a show. I always feel that way with MGM and Stargate. But anyways, all right, carry on, Randy. This is your show.
We could go on and on about this, but anyway, this is a basic sort of puzzle. This is actually a basic sort of magic trick. One of the things that I sort of ended up designing and things for other magicians, and it's actually a very interesting kind of thing. This is actually in two parts. So first part. Is this cool cage,
right?
Which, it's just a neat little cage. You can see through the front there. And the second part is this neat tube, cool tube,
right?
And of course, by placing like this, and I'm sure Wolf Pup can give us or Vibe Pup could give us a magic word, right?
If he's there.
Well, give me God. You can
Call of Duty.
Oh, sure. Let's do that. And of course, we reach in from our lovely tube and we pull out my cool, awesome Bluetooth speaker that has been there. That's very neat.
Oh, I thought it was a baby tube.
Baby tube.
What?
No.
Wait a sec. So,
of course, you can place it back in to the tube just like this. And of course, you'll see that there's nothing inside the lovely box, and there is nothing inside of the tube.
Ooh.
Interesting. Wait a sec. So, are we allowed to guess?
I tell you what, yeah.
I'll
give this one away. It's a fairly old trick.
Is it something to do with the colors of the red and the black? Is something being masked by the black, perhaps? Is that...
Perhaps a bit, yes. Known as black art. Perhaps, yeah.
Is that literally what they call it?
Basically, yeah. Black arts.
The black arts. Got it. Okay.
Yes.
So we think...
Very cool.
What do you got? Vibe Pup, you got any thoughts?
If you lift up the box, is it just going to be there?
If I lift up the box, like...
Without the tube in it.
With the tube in it.
Without the tube in it.
I think I see where Vibe Pup's going with this.
Go on. You're on the right track.
If you get rid of both the box and the tube, I feel like it's just going to be there.
One at a time, you're saying.
Yeah, one at a time.
So one at a time. So this first, then this.
Oh, don't put the tube back in. Just leave it out.
Leave the tube back out.
No.
And then move the box too.
Then move the box. Okay.
Okay, gotcha.
A magician never tells his tricks. Okay.
You're actually not too far off. I will give this one away. It's actually a very, very, very interesting thing, and it's basically it uses how we see things against us, and it's a great way to sort of trick and fool people not only on the magician stage, but also in the escape room sort of environment as well.
Right.
So here's what's happening. This is essentially two things that's going on. One, these bars here allow you to see into the box. So it makes you think that you can see all the way to the back.
Right.
Which you are not. This tube is here to give the illusion that when I do lift up the box, that there's nothing in the box.
Right.
And there isn't. And there's nothing in the tube either. However, if I remove both of them, this is where you'll see the lovely magic. There actually is a second tube.
Right. Where you're hiding the goods.
It is actually the same color. Here's our lovely Bluetooth speaker, and it's actually the same color. I've actually this is actually a gray. It was painted black before, but I've grayed it up just for the video. But they essentially is having this be the gray color on the inside will actually mask that by two things. One, that the color is all one solid color. There's no shininess to it. And second, it's because this actually breaks up your line of view and makes it so that you can't actually tell that the thing is curved in front of you. It just kind of breaks it up.
Oh, interesting. So it breaks up your perspective.
Even if I got real close, with this, even with the light shining right into it there,
the perspective is tough. I just saw it there. I see.
It's very, very difficult to actually even show it to you that it's in there.
Yeah, it's smart. But so you'll use elements of that kind of stuff. So how would you integrate something like that into a escape room?
Well, using things like this, having a way of being able to limit the person's perspective. We can have it so that the person can only see this part here, and they're not able to interact with the tube in the inside. However, they're able to lift it up or whatever like this, but not completely remove it or have access to the top. It's actually one of our, I'm trying not to give away too much of our puzzle. But,
all right. Well, no spoilers on, I don't want to ruin your work.
Essentially, the idea is that by lifting this up, you think you see nothing, but if you were to unlock it and reach in, then you can actually get the thing that you require.
So in other words, you pull up one piece, revealing nothing. If you have a system that could latch the two together so that when you then pull them up, you're actually revealing the thing you want. Nice.
Yes, indeed.
Again, this is what I love about it, because I feel like it's inspiring. It makes you start thinking about things you could do. Like I immediately started thinking like, ooh, I could do like a little escape room in my garage or something. You know what I mean?
You could. Yeah. Do you know what? I mean, honestly, sure. We have. I do have a few things that I have out there, and I can maybe post a link to it after for you. But it's a bunch of PDF things about making one room escape rooms. So all the things that if we've ever designed a room before, we kind of put it down on paper, so we don't ever really truly forget it. And we know that it's our idea.
Right.
But anyway, I do have these things, and if you have something as simple as 3 boxes that can lock and 3 different types of locks, things that you can pick up at the hardware store. If you have that, boom, we have PDFs that can make you an entire themed escape room based off just that.
Wow, that is cool. I just love the idea of, I mean, it's almost like interactive theater to me. It's like an interactive murder mystery theater type thing. Like I could see, doing something like this as a school project or just as a geek project, where you get your electronics nerds, you get your math nerds, you get your props makers and your cosplayers, and you've got yourself like a really cool escape room.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got something.
Class.
Right?
It would be a great class. Well, you got to check out this guy. What did I say his name was? Stephen Nichols or something, or
I mean, like Scott for kids,
Nichols.
You can integrate math. Like I can easily add math into that Pigpen code or different codes.
Yeah.
You've got your different materials, your reasoning, all kinds of things.
In fact, that could be your final exam. If you can't get out of the room, you fail and die.
And you die there. That's
Starve
right.
to death.
I like it.
Exactly. If you can't make it out of this room, you don't pass grade 9.
Yes. Well, one of the jokes that I like to say is not everybody escapes. Sometimes we hire them.
Nice. How many people do you have working at your place?
Currently, it's we got 4 of us working and shifting around. I'm the main head designer guy,
right?
And everyone kind of is either the one who pays the bills or the people who run the show, whatever.
Right.
But
can you do a shout out for the room or
of course I can. Well, yeah, sure. It's if anyone is in the awesome Eastern Ontario region of Trenton, aka Quinte West, Ontario. What?
Quinte West?
Quinte West,
nice.
Yes. Okay. I know. It's one of those things.
But it has an escape room. It's more than my neighborhood has. And I'm in downtown Toronto.
There's one there.
Well, there's no, but not on the not. Oh, I was gonna say where I am. I was about to dox myself again.
Fair.
Damn
Don't.
it.
Yeah.
All I do is dox myself. James R. Gurney's so disappointed.
Allow me to dox myself.
Yeah,
and
please.
let everyone else know.
Please do.
Hourglassmysteries.com. That is
Hourglassmysteries.com.
Mysteries.com. You head on over there. You can book one of our rooms. We can get you on here. Now, here's the really, really cool thing. The awesome, neat thing. If you were to book it within the next 24 hours, next 24 hours, what? I got to do this for everyone watching. If it does reach out to the very people out there, I'd hate for you guys to make your way all the way down to my neck of the woods just to try out my thing. So if you do, I'd really appreciate it to give you guys 50% off of the ticket price for admission. So that's right. So if you book it, hourglassmysteries.com, and the code is TechBandits, all one word, all lowercase. Oh, nice. That's your promotion thing. TechBandits.
It's a good code. TechBandits, yeah.
Totally worth it.
Totally worth it. But that's if you want to do it. If you don't, by all means.
The website looks great, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Did you do that as well?
A little bit. Some of the graphics on there, yeah.
That's great. Quint's Escape Rooms. I love it.
Quinty.
Oh, Quinty's. It's Quinty's?
It's Quinty. It's one of those crazy, like, French type things.
What's that? It is? Yeah. That's great. So the ones you've got currently right now, you've got Midnight at the Museum. That sounds cool. You've got Starship Dol. I like the sound of this one.
Starship Dolos.
Starship Dolos. I wonder whose voice could be in that one. The Golden Egg, which I've got to say, there's something about the Golden Egg that just works for me. Oh, then you've got a mobile escape room as well?
Yes, we do. What we're doing,
that's
whole
LARPing. That's a great idea.
Yeah. So we take it to you, and we have a game ready to go, and we take it to you, or your festival or whatever, and we can set up and run we either do it as a 15-minute sort of game, so you're in and out trying to solve the puzzles within 15 minutes, or we do it as big groups, but you're all working against each other to solve the puzzles, and yeah.
And what sort of a space do you need for that?
Oh my God, that's a great idea.
We have a very, very small tent, which is about 15 by 15.
Right.
Stay small, but it's 15 by 15.
What if you did a bus or something like a school bus?
Escape bus.
Revamp it.
Hey, that sounds like great. Do you want to fund that? We can start.
I was thinking franchise.
Gimpy G needs a damn bus already himself. Maybe they get a 2-for-1 on the on the buses.
You buy it, and then I'll install the escape room puzzles, and then boom.
We should do 3, because then I could have a Tech Bandits bus as well.
Yeah. Well, we could just we could just cut the one bus into thirds.
Just have one bus and have different sections. That's a long bus.
No, I love the idea. Think about
the Magic Man Tech Bandits.
Apparently, used buses are
Magic Man Randy.
Yeah.
I just think eventually, if you could. Because you've got all the underlying PDFs, like you said, and tech, and you can build new traps. So it's almost like a franchise thing you could do.
Yeah.
It'd be fantastic.
It seems very franchisable. It does seem.
It is probably
very $1 billion to start.
Because you know what Randy the Magic Man needs is more freaking things to do.
Well, this could be the last thing he has to do.
Missed the beginning. He's nonstop. It's amazing that we've had him for like over an hour. That someone hasn't come down and said there's a child trapped in one of the escape rooms. Yeah.
Well, actually, in about 2 hours or so, I've got another show I got to do.
Oh, do you? What's next for you? What's next for you today?
It's a trivia night tonight. I host the trivia show.
Another thing. Do you have any Tech Bandits codes for that? Is that online?
It's actually a live trivia game show. But if you guys want, I am going to be doing it live on the internet soon. I'm just working out a lot of the technical issues and the practical issues. I actually have to be there to host it, right? So
yeah, welcome to technical issues on the internet. Yeah, it's par for the course. It's the training wheels always involve audio, right? It's always an audio issue. All right. Well, look. I mean, you let us know if you have to run. You run. We babble on usually for a couple of hours. So like
I could too. Yeah.
Okay. So but you when you're ready to roll, you just let us know. We'll
sounds
wrap
groovy.
it up. Okay, well, like, why don't we throw this to our chat and see if people have any questions or if anyone's got anything. Captain Catherine says that was a really fun interview, very interesting. Well done.
True.
I was looking into having a mobile escape room designed for a job once, but didn't have the time. Yeah, what is the procedure for, like, if you've got a mobile escape room? Are you working? Do people say, like, I want it to be like this, or you have a series of ones they can choose from?
Well, that'd be so hard.
Yeah, we have pre-generated ones already.
Right.
Now, certain ones that we run can kind of incorporate, a little bit of personality to it. Like if it's a birthday party or something, we can actually make one of the clues, the child's name or the child's birth date or whatever, right? So,
more children. Gross.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, here's a little deep dive into the entertainment industry. It's the same show,
right?
No matter where you go, it's the same show, right? But you have to kind of. You gotta give them. It's called 110% entertainment. Thanks to my good friend Richard Cole out there. If you're watching,
good name.
I know.
Well, I mean, not if you're a man.
Well, he's a hypnotist out. He's a hypnotist out in just maybe 15-minute journey from me.
Oh yeah.
And so him and I, when we get together, we come up with some cool stuff. But anyway, so yeah, 110% entertainment. You can do the show. You can give them the escape room. But if you can give them the escape room, but something a little extra for them, and a little extra for them, and a little extra for them. So yeah, so we like to personalize it up incredibly a lot. But it is essentially the same escape room, but with a little bit of personalization.
And you're I'm assuming you're iterating all the time. Like, as stuff comes up, you go like, oh, it worked better when I did this, or this didn't. They won't be doing that again. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. It's the good old SWOT analysis. I don't know if anyone's too familiar with that, but it's a really good practice for just about any business, really, but especially for escape rooms.
What is it? What's it?
Well, it's, your strength, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. So what works really, really well in your business? What is your strength? Okay, that's good. All right, write those out. Okay, what's your weaknesses? What's something that's not really that's you as the business is not really could have improvement on? All right, good. Now, what are the opportunities? What are things outside of your business that could help your business? And what are things outside your business, the threats that could oppose it? So knowing all of this information means that you can take your threats and turn them into opportunities. You can take your weaknesses and turn them into strengths. And
that
didn't mean this for this to be a business.
No, I like that. Well, it's funny. That's
actually
a really good
Maybe
segue.
Well.
I'm gonna throw a segue at you with this, and then I'll bring you back to the.
Great.
To the.
It's going to recommend a business podcast. Go ahead.
No, I'm not. But I do listen to a lot of business podcasts. But no, I've been talking with one of our viewers who runs a web site and design service, and was looking for a way of like somehow working together to promote it and that kind of stuff. And I'd suggested, why don't we do a business contest for Tech Bandits? Where the kids come up with an idea, with a business idea, and it gets promoted by us and on Twitter and stuff, and they come up with ideas, and they get a little website and some hosting for whatever, a year or something like that. I love those kind of business things, because I think that, business is just problem solving, right? It's literally just about
the reward being money.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. So now, okay. So speaking about money, you're doing these escape rooms. What kind of a budget do you have to make an escape room? Like, I have no sense of what it costs to make a good escape room. I know a lot of it's going to be just creativity, but
I know a good material. I'll bet money 50% of his business is duct tape. Am I right? Duct tape?
There's a small portion of duct tape that goes into it.
Gotcha.
Sometimes it's just cheaper to put duct tape on it than paint it, but
true.
But the idea is the budget is kind of things are going to cost what they cost in the end. We don't. I kind of go into it thinking, okay, want to be able to recoup whatever I spend within a month.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Right. Oh, I see. Okay.
So how do I go, okay, this is how much I can charge for an hour of my time in this room. Okay, well, how many of those do I need in order to fill out to make my budget make sense? So I'd like to say that usually my budgets are in my head, they start off as unlimited, buy whatever you want.
Right.
Then it becomes like, the Occam's razor. You just kind of strip away all the nonsense until you're left with just like, okay, bare minimum. What do I need to get in this room?
Right.
And then maybe spend $20 more on the fancier version. But
right. So so you would say like, so if you were approaching this, you would say like, okay, what are the least number of people we have coming through on a monthly basis? We'll split that into 3, and that's our budget or that a little bit less than that is our budget for the rooms.
Essentially, yeah.
And what are the most popular rooms?
Bit fast, right? So, well, currently, right now, the most popular room we've got. What have we got? It's actually the Golden Egg. Second is Starship Dolos.
Really?
So Golden Egg has actually been hanging on for about 2 or 3 years. It's one of our more popular ones.
So you change the puzzles, but it's the same outcome.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. The idea is to find the big giant golden egg, and we switch up the clues and puzzles. But
Who
eventually,
doesn't want to find a big
it's the other 2 rooms that we kind of switch up completely and entirely.
Right.
That kind of brings people back. It's amazing that how many people, despite the golden egg being our most popular room, it's like we always see people coming in and trying the other ones. And it's like, oh yeah, you should really try the golden egg, and they do it. Or if they've come in for the golden egg, I show them Dolos, and they're like, oh, we should have done this one. And
ha. Well, you can always come back using your Tech Bandits.
Tech Bandits, all lowercase.
That's it.
No spaces. Look it on the Bookio. You'll see it on there on the Tech Bandit or on the hourglassmysteries.com.
The website.
Lots of common.
Yeah.
Lots of common.
Yeah.
And the dots out there.
How much of a community is there around escape rooms? I mean, are you able to hang out with or are they all like guarding, closely guarded secrets, fudge off. We're doing our own thing here.
I mean, it's kind of like a magician community. We all got stuff that we want to show off but not share, but also we want to share for money.
Right.
So, within that kind of realm, I mean, for me here showing you guys this stuff here, I don't mind. It's some basic electronics, some basic circuitry turned into a puzzle. But we do have some very interesting puzzles that we think are just very, very cool. But our immediate sort of competition is very few far and in between. I mean, we are the only one in our general area who's actually doing it as a full-time thing. There's a few like, axe throwing plus escape room.
Right.
Selling
boy, you don't want to get those mixed up.
That's like selling candy plus escape room.
Right.
But it's mainly just like one room of their entire facility that they have an escape room. But ours is actually 100% dedicated to the actual puzzles and the overall atmosphere of the whole thing. So.
Right.
David, I just thought of $1 million idea.
What
you just switch up what he was talking about. Axe catching and escape room. Think about it.
You'll never get out. No one's getting out. No one's getting out with all their fingers. That's for sure. That is interesting though. So I guess it's seen as boy, it'd be hard to have. I mean, I can't imagine anything other than a dedicated space for it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like because it's one of those things that like even just the mobile escape room, that's got to be tough because, there's so many extra things to think about in that process. I would be curious to know. I'd be amazed if there aren't educators using this kind of stuff to teach kids stuff too, because it just seems so many. You got physics, you got math, you got arts, you got story. I mean, there's just so many aspects to this.
And it is certainly things that we've done in the past. We have done sort of designed escape rooms, like science escape rooms and things like that for classrooms. And it is something that we do as well. So teachers out there, you want to know, you want to kind of cool them interested in escape rooms, get them practically solving problems with these things. Why do they need to algebra?
And hire this guy to come in and walk them through it.
Nice.
Hey, that might. Hey, speaking of which, that might be a cool thing for your community center thing that you're working on.
Oh, that's a
Mitch.
really good point.
Dude,
That is a great point.
dude.
You could chat to your kids while they're doing the Tech Bandit stuff, and then
We could put,
Man.
and we've got a pancake bot. We could put secret messages in the pancakes.
yes,
Oh, that's
secret
gonna
codes
cause.
in the pancakes.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah. So no dark rooms, otherwise people are going to be on a griddle. But actually, that is a really good idea, Randy. That's we've got. So apparently they voted on. So we gave them a suggestion of 5 different possible ideas, and
Laser spiders, did it work?
He thinks laser spiders are a go. I was like, of course,
Okay, go.
Of course they
Yeah.
are.
To be honest, I was super excited about the the electronic graveyard one.
Yeah, like the autopsies, the tech autopsies. Yeah. I love that stuff. But I think what's nice is we'll start with whatever they decide on. Hopefully they'll be excited, and then we can sort of expand from there. But Baz says, yeah, he thinks laser spiders. He's not sure what the next one is though. So we haven't been given the results yet. But I'll definitely let you know. So hey, speak of the devil, here comes Baz himself. I was just saying we don't know what the tally is on the Tech Bandits at the community center is.
Which
You said laser spiders for
projects they want?
What was that? Sorry,
Lasers.
that was teenager. I couldn't understand a word of it.
Pretty sure laser spiders won.
Lasers, yeah, I thought laser spiders were probably going to be doing it. So, all right. Welcome
I told
back.
you.
Good.
Hey,
How are you doing?
man.
Chemistry test?
How you doing?
He had a chemistry test today. I was just giggling because I don't know any of it. I literally never. I guess I never got as far as chemistry. I guess. Good Lord, I'm so paranoid about my hair now that I'm an orangutan.
I see. Why I noticed you brushed your hair today. I'm so disappointed.
I didn't brush it. I just. All right, see you, buddy. Sorry, I'll be up in a sec. Yeah, you got me. Although I got to say that orangutan photo is. I love that orangutan photo.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I smiled just thinking about it.
Don't you? The other thing is, online courses. I could totally see teaching escape room stuff as well. I mean, there's so many different angles on this that it's just crazy fun.
I need to be more people. Yeah.
Well,
I
there's
need
that.
to-
Yeah, you need to contact with humans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. What and so what is the plans? I mean, do you have big plans for escape room stuff in the future? What's the do you have any sort of expansion plans or what are you changing?
How about wishes? Yeah.
Wishes. Yeah. Well, wish perhaps is to be super famous with lots of money and then not be famous anymore.
Yeah, that's the
True.
key. That is the
Just
key.
keep the money.
That's
That's a wish. If I had a wish, that would be it. But if I had to do something else,
Rich and then disappear.
yeah, that would be fun. Leave a legacy, but also leave me alone.
Yeah, nice.
Um,
And escape room wise, are there things are there ones that you go I want to try. I would like to try a. Have you done comedy ones? Is there an element of comedy to any of these things, or what works?
I mean,
do you like?
there's a few titters here and there.
Yeah.
With the ones that we have for sure. One of the things that we're actually looking into is our hope is that we could possibly get into some of the theater acting guilds here.
Ooh.
And see about doing a live escape room sort of murder mystery, but not murder mystery, more, solve the puzzle to get to the end of
an
whatever.
interactive play.
Yeah, but with actors and stuff like that as well. So that's one of the things that we've got in the pipe. We're working on it. We've got we're working a lot with the local theater guilds here, which is actually there's just so much going on. So amazing, cool talent that is just not being out there.
I know that.
Randy, it'd be cool.
And then here's David turning down work.
Yeah,
anyway.
David.
I'm not turning down much right now. Let me tell you.
Can imagine.
Did you ever play the game Myst or another game called The Seventh Guest?
Yeah.
It was like a computer game back in the 90s. That would be so cool if Randy had the budget to do a escape mansion.
Mm.
That would be so neat.
Is your house free, David? We could.
Yeah, I try to get out of it.
There's
every so
hardly
often.
any construction.
I try to get out of it all the time. We've got a weird open concept house though, so which kind of sucks for that. Like you almost want lots of rooms, but I think
Open concept.
Metal bars.
Gross.
You'll be fine.
It's
even worse when you can see the other room but can't get into it.
Ooh. Yeah, it's true. There's definitely a few interesting. I'll take some photos. You can have a look. We'll see. I don't think my wife is going to let me turn my house into. She's already relegated me to the basement for God's sake. But there's a garage. Throw that out
but then there's the whole concept of you suddenly taking photographs of your house for some guy on the internet.
Well, I'm just taking some photos for Randy. Don't worry about it. Well,
what's his name? The Magic Man. Are you sure?
Yes, indeed. What about? I just wonder if there's a tie-in. Do you have a local fringe show? Because there's usually a fringe theater show that goes on every year, or a fringe festival, I guess they call it.
Yeah, there is. There's a few ones that kind of kick around few and far, but yeah, like festivals and things like that. We normally apart for the past couple of years, but we were really driving and doing a lot of that stuff. Just bringing the idea of of a puzzle room, getting your brains working. Making it so that I wasn't the only one
that's neat.
was solving super intelligence.
Right, exactly. I don't want to be the only super intelligent guy around here.
It's like being super intelligent is like having a video phone. It only works if everyone else is.
Everyone else has one, exactly. Yeah. If everyone else is. Well, look, dude, thank you so much for this. Do you want to just like quickly run down some of the promotional things you want to you've got?
Sure.
Yeah, let us know where we can find you.
So, Quincy's Escape Room, Hourglass Mysteries. That's hourglassmysteries.com. I'll get my radio voice here.
It's good. I like it. It's good. Good.
Here we go. hourglassmysteries.com and try and get those amazing escape rooms. Try it out yourself with promo code TechBandits, all lowercase, no space. That's 50% off for everyone watching right now. 50% off. If you were to, and it's indefinite. So that means like,
oh my God.
If you watch this again a year later, you see it, you can put TechBandits code in and it'll work.
We're timeless. Basically. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And of course, come check me out if you happen to be in the area and you happen to say, hey, there's trivia here at this cool local bar. And you're like, hey, maybe we should go. Yeah, it's probably me. And you should come out and say hi as well. We're definitely franchising that out into your area too, David.
What's the trivia?
Drunken trivia.
Could use a host. I'm just saying. Think about that.
What is the trivia?
Trivia host.
I could be like, what's it? Yeah.
So it's like it's a live entertainment live show, like a live game show happens right in the bar.
And the show is called
Live Pub Quiz.
Just IV?
Live.
No, live.
Oh, live.
As in, I'm not dead.
I'm also dead. I'm also deaf.
It's live.
Live.
It's in a pub.
Is that a .ca?
Well, we own them both. .com and .ca.
Look at you, fancy pants. All right, I gotta put you in the. I'll put you in the chat right now. I'm just trying to get links so I can pop them in the chat as well. There you go.
There you go. And of course, if you guys want to check it out, coming up in the spring, summer-ish, I'm going to be doing some live trivia shows from our website there as well, where people can actually tune in and win some money, which is going to lots of fun.
Money? I can win money?
Yeah, you could.
Sweet.
Yes.
How much money we talking? How much cash we talking about?
Yes.
Well, the plan is to make it a nice, big, huge, crazy monthly event where people come in and they pay a small amount and you could win a big amount.
So you pool it all and then the more people
pool it all.
Nice. I
mean, a good portion of it goes to the marketing and the sales and the operation, but
now you sound like a distributor. Now you sound like a distributor.
An even bigger portion goes to you.
Goes home with you.
Indeed.
And the host, of course, gets a huge, massive, I'm sure, cut of it.
Indeed.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Of course, me, RandyTheMagicMan.com. If you wanna see all the cool stuff if you want to see me live, if you want to see me at a cool event, check it out.
Randy the Magic. I'm just putting that in too.
Thanks, Dave.
Randy, you did awesome, dude. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, come on! It's not just a good interview; it's to have a good interviewer, right?
So we failed on that, but
I was certain. I think we kept the squirrels we were chasing to a minimum this time.
we're pretty good. Actually, you know what? I have made a concerted effort to try to be, especially when we're on like a topic. I've tried to stick to it. I will fail miserably every time, but it's you know, Randy is a talented guy for sure. Says
Pen
Scotty
cipher.
P. There you go.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
I want to sue.
I'm incredibly lucky, mixed with having all the skills that I've learned for 20 years.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 years.
Wedding
I've been
ring.
doing this.
Sorry, ladies.
Oh, yeah, wedding ring. I just recently got married. Yeah, sorry. Actually,
Nice.
July 1st. I told the
Congratulations.
thank you. I told the wife. I said, just be prepared that I will be working every day, every anniversary. It is July 1st, and I'm an entertainer.
Yeah.
Sorry. And she went, no, that's fine. We just have fireworks on our anniversary every year. And I'm like,
every year.
and I don't have to set it up. I like that. I like it.
Someone else
Nice.
does it for you. You take all the credit. It's perfect. Did you do like an escape room for her to find her engagement ring or anything? Is there any like?
And you can't forget it either. That's great.
I actually did propose to her at a trivia show, though.
Did you?
Yeah, I was like, okay, I've got one more question here for the most. Here we go. Pick a random person. I've got a random trivia question for you. And then I stood her up, got her in front of me. Well, tried to get her standing up. It was all a mess. But
it never works as planned, does it? Yeah.
It looks really cool in my head, but it played a little differently. But nonetheless,
More cringe than cool.
Yeah, well, maybe I guess. But asked her in front of the entire live audience to marry me, and luckily she said yes. So,
yeah, I always wonder about what happened.
You know what? That was smart though.
I mean, I didn't even have the animation set up for no. I had the animation set up for yes. She said yes.
You don't have the option to say no.
I actually had the video somewhere. I could have sent it off to you. Somebody recorded it.
Any questions in here from people? Was there any questions that I've missed that people had or anything?
Yeah.
There you go.
I didn't see any, my friend.
First time chat from Colty YYC. I'm sorry, I'm looking at a very, very tiny computer screen right now.
Me too.
It says, how competitive is the market around Toronto? They own a room in Calgary and have heard it's really competitive there.
Well, to be quite honest, with the comparison, I mean, if competition for escape rooms, I mean, you're going somewhere to spend an hour, unless you're a dedicated, and don't get me wrong, there are people out there who are dedicated to this stuff and will travel across the country to go to different escape rooms. We've actually met a few of them. They're actually pretty cool. But
doing road trips to do.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
kind of
like roller coaster people and
Grateful Dead
actor people, Anyway, nonetheless, the whole kind of neat concept of it all is that our competition is kind of few far and in between, because if they are close by us, then it's not us being better than them. It's just having a different experience than them.
Right.
Right. So it's not necessarily about being better. It's just it's being different.
Well, it's not an either
new
or
puzzles.
Either. I'm assuming if someone wants to do escape rooms, they want to do escape rooms. They don't want to.
If you want to buy a coffee, you're not thinking like, if I say go get yourself a coffee, you're thinking about your favorite type of coffee as opposed to what I have in mind, which is, I don't like coffee at all. So
actually, that would suck. Actually, the worst thing you could have is a sucky room, like as a competition, because people go in, hate it, and then they don't want to do yours because they think they don't like escape rooms.
Yeah.
So in a way,
and
holy smokes.
It sets the bar
tide,
too. Yeah.
Raising all boats and all. Scotty P has a question. He says, how much room? I've lost the actual question. It's something about like how big a room do you think you need to do something like this?
Minimum size we found. Minimum size is you want maybe like a 10 by 20 room, something that's a little bit longer than it is wider. So this way you can kind of build a fake wall or something if you need to get into a back. I'd say minimum you do well in a room like that, maybe 15 by 15. But honestly, the any space can be an escape room. You can do it by a tree. You can do it in the park.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
So, I mean, you're not limited to the space itself. You're just limited to the ideas and where and how you do the puzzles. For instance, you can't do electronic puzzles out in the park unless you find get a generator or something.
Right. Right.
So,
yeah, sir. I hit my
Earlier
I hit the volume. That's why it was. Thank you, people, for letting me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Way earlier on in the stream, Gopher Fluffernutt asked if you had done anything based on like historical events, maybe like the
like my birthday,
the French Revolution or something, or very historical.
Yeah, the museum room, the Midnight Inn Museum, it's actually sort of haunted by a spirit, but the museum itself, well, we needed to come up with stuff that went into the museum. So we chatted to, the local historical society. We chatted to a bunch of places, and we got actual pictures and placards that we then, of course, made copies of.
I was going to say, non-breakable historical items. Right.
And then we of course made copies of, so this way we could have a version of it in our own little museum. And it's hyper local trivia, or it talks about one of the big great buildings used to be the police station, used to be all horseback stuff or whatever. Now is an actual theater for arts and stuff. So it's, I don't know, it's kind of neat. So we actually utilized all that stuff and put in there. Great historical events. Well, interesting enough that we learned through all of this, and it's amazing the things you learn through the stuff you do. I had actually learned the Fox sisters, who had actually started that whole spiritual movement, like we can speak to ghosts kind of thing.
Right.
Didn't Houdini give them the old 1-2? I think maybe. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, well, they themselves later on, of course, confessed that it was all fake. But by that time, the ball of cheese was too big. But nonetheless, we had actually learned that it was actually a place that's not too far from us, which was in Consicon, is where these people were essentially like made their their stuff. So it was like really, really cool, right?
So made their tools for doing the tricks?
Yeah, so essentially one of the sisters had the ability to dislocate her toe. Ooh. So it made like a knocking sound.
Oh.
So it's where they learned to do their thing and get away with it, supposedly. But yeah, it was very neat. So we used that, sort of incorporate that into the room. So it was really neat to have that sort of local trivia also be, worldwide spiritual movement that then tied into the spiritual room.
Well, and also I think that's a neat angle from the town's perspective too, because you're going like, well, it's not just an escape room. It could also be like a tourist thing as well, because it's like you can learn a bit about the town while you're at the escape room. It's really cool, very cool,
very interesting as well. Two cool things. One is we actually have where I am here in Trenton is actually has the largest Canadian military air base here in Trenton. It's actually very cool.
Ooh, maybe an airplane escape room.
Yes, we've done that as well. Yes, it's very fun.
Really?
And even at the base, it was actually, I think one of the Hulk films was filmed there.
One of the good Hulk films?
One of the Hulk films? Not
yeah.
the Ang Lee one, I hope. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's yeah.
You won't hold that against. Don't hold that against Trenton. That's not Trenton's fault. I guarantee.
Yeah, it was definitely. I think it was the first Norton one, the first Edward Norton one.
Okay, that was a good one. I like that one.
There was a scene where they're fighting or whatever. He's hitting helicopters, and that was filmed in our air base, which is
because back in those days you had to actually hit helicopters. They didn't have all the CG stuff sorted out.
Yeah.
And you had to have the big green muscles and everything. Yeah.
A quick shout out to Watcher652. Thank you very, very much. 28 months.
In a row. They've done 29 months altogether.
That's insane.
Wow.
But just not that interesting. Okay.
Totally interesting.
It was good, but it would be a lot more. Already built a big Miz event. We haven't tried out anyone else yet. I'm just going to look if there's any more questions. Have we seen any more questions? Anyone else got any more questions? We've got using a train set. You need to prevent the train from hitting another. Ooh, that's kind of a fun idea.
Like the ethical problem.
Oh, like the trolley. The trolley.
Dilemma. Trolley.
The trolley dilemma.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, because you're going to get some people in that room that are just going to crash the train. Like you know, Gimpy G is going train to train on that.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
Now, which side has the most people? Okay.
Scotty P has a question. What's your favorite color? Thank you, Scotty P. You're very helpful.
Nice.
All
the good
it's questions.
It's
gotta be purple.
What they, Scotty P.
All right. Well, I think we can. I think you're clear.
Right.
I don't think there's any more questions for you. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, anyway, guys, do check it out. If you're in my area, I've just made it a little bit easier on your wallets to
I can't wait to get up there. Yeah.
If David, naturally, if you make it up, I'll give
50% off. I'm using the code. You
charge
know it.
Double.
I'll give you the 50% off too.
Double. It costs
everyone
me
else
as much.
Everyone else will get free, but you have to pay the 50%.
Exactly. That's whereas Gimpy G says I should be paying more probably. So, I know. Do you have a favorite escape room? Like, have you ever done? Is there like an escape room for you that stands out as one that you've gone, oh my god, that's the best? Or was it like they're all like, I could do better?
It's not that I could do better. It's that when you go to them, you get ideas that you wouldn't think normally to do.
Right.
Right. And then it's like, oh, I wouldn't have done it that way, but that's really interesting that they've done it that way because now it means that they can do this. And it's like, oh, that was one of the problems I was having. And it's kind of neat to see that other people have similar problems, but have either worked it through or worked it through their own way. And I don't know. I don't think any idea is a bad idea unless, you shocked her on fire.
Well, and you just don't know until people have tried it out, right? I mean, I guess maybe shocked it on fire, you might not want to do, but the idea that, I guess it just depends how people react to the stuff, right? Are there things that you've done that you thought, oh my God, they're going to love this, and they're like, and then the ones that you're like, well, what's the big deal? And then they're like, and everyone loves it.
Well, there was a space room I made utilized a very cool sci-fi actor who was on spaceships, and I thought everyone would love that, but
it didn't do it. It didn't draw them in. So the sci-fi one you thought was going to be you're going to have more sci-fi folks.
I think it's just because it's we're not promoting it as a hey, come and listen to David Hewlett, right? So
right.
It's kind of like
that would get my family in. So one of the things that came up in the stats that I was because of course I'm doing a Google Analytics course, so I love stats. But the one of the things that came up was the different types of escape rooms and the popularity of them. And apparently, one of the most popular ones was either committing a crime or solving a crime. Were the two most popular. Like diamond heist or solving a diamond heist type thing, which I thought was interesting.
Oh,
because apparently
it's one of those committing the crime.
It's one that didn't skew. Like if there's some of them like zombies that skewed towards the men, and then there were other ones that skewed towards the women, and then that was one of the ones that they said was like one that sort of seemed to cover both of them. I'll see if I can find it.
It is very sort of universal. The whole solving the crime heist kind of deal. Because it appeals to sort of everyone. I mean, it's being a spy, and I mean everyone can think of a cool spy film that has either whatever as the lead, right? So you kind of think of it in your own terms of who you are in that as a spy, right? So.
How many people do you have on your teams? Do you have like a minimum and a maximum, or do you mix people up?
How does 4.
Was it 4?
Well, I'd say minimum, 2 or 3 or 4. You want at least someone who has opposing idea, but you also want someone who's gonna bounce another idea that both of you wouldn't think of.
Right.
It's definitely I'd say minimum 3 if you could swing it. I've seen people go in there and just do the room by themselves.
Really?
And there's just one.
That's a lonely person.
I know. There's a person that comes in and basically they kind of stand in the center of the room for a minute and they kind of look at all the puzzles. It looks like they're thinking. You can see the gears turning, and all of a sudden they just get to work. They start solving puzzles. They do all this stuff, and it's like, man, they got some Sherlock stuff going on there in their head.
I I could sort of see that though. I suppose there's like if you just want to go and solve a puzzle, like I could see that being kind of fun. If you're not, I'd be too self-conscious, I think, for that. You know what I mean? Like I almost want the buffer of people around me so you can joke around and make it more of a thing.
And someone to blame.
Gotcha.
You know, so to blame.
True.
Basically, I want Gimpy G there to blame for not fixing, figuring things out, right?
Oh yeah. It would be me. Mm-hmm.
I was
Speaking of David Hewlett,
Hmm.
how often do you have to watch those escape rooms?
I have to watch. Well, yeah, I watch every single one that comes in.
No, wash. Like, are you cleaning them? You have to
Wash.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, okay, yeah, I watch them all, guys. I have to
like really sterilize, like.
So, oh yeah, we
deep
wash.
down.
Well, during the pandemic, it was every single prop had to be wiped down, sanitized. Nothing. We had to get rid of a lot of the like sharp, rough edges because it would like tear up the cloths and stuff. So we had to resort to different props.
Really?
But it also gave us it also gave us a sort of a sense of going, well, this is one of the problems we might face, so we should make it so that we have it a little easier. But yeah, nonetheless, we clean them out as best we can, almost every single time. Like they're
Good
done.
call.
Right.
We got about maybe 20 minutes or so to reset the room. It takes us about 5 minutes to put all the props and stuff back.
Have you ever got in there and gone like, oh my God, where's the freaking egg or whatever?
Oh yeah, hundreds.
Oh yeah,
Really?
so bad.
Someone walks off with the egg or something.
My.
Oh yeah, there's been a few times where someone has taken a very integral lock or something.
Really?
They put it in their pocket. We've had.
But you've got them all on video. Can you just sort of go like, "Hi, you're on video stealing our lock. Can you give it back, please?"
Oh, it's the thing is you don't notice it's stolen until you're cleaning it up. And,
Okay.
And by that time, it's like, okay, well, do I review the tape and figure it out?
I review the tape.
Hour?
That's what I'm doing.
Of course, naturally.
I'm reviewing the tape naturally. Yeah. But then I watch my Wise cameras to see what's going on in the back alley as well. So it's just I get bored. I was trying to look up to see what the groups of different types, like what the different types of rooms were, the percentages on them. This guy who I'm quite taken with, this Scott Nicholson guy at Wilfrid Laurier, and he's done this breakdown of a bunch of the data and stuff, and he was saying that 30%. Let's see if I got the percent concert escapes and the concert really scattered. Okay, so the various different, the breakdown of the different rooms is like the modern era is without a doubt the most popular. So most rooms, it seems, are like 25% of all rooms are like set between 2000 and 20. Well, this was 2015 was this article. Specific place and time were the other ones. Horror was a big one. Fantasy, science, abstract, but sci-fi, like the futuristic ones, very low, 7%, only 7%.
Really?
Which I thought was interesting. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and we've seen this sort of thing, and what we try to do is a lot of the rooms that we see like this, a lot of these, this will do poorly. We go, okay, well let's see if we can do it and make it work.
Yeah.
And it's like for us, it's our spaceship room is the second only to the golden egg. So
I've always felt second place to a golden egg. I just feel like eventually I'll become sort of a fleshy egg.
Taking this escape room very personal.
I am, aren't I? Yeah, that's true. I just feel like my voice should be bringing in way more people. I just don't understand why that's not.
You're not.
But they don't know your voice is going to be there until
exactly.
They're there.
That's the problem. That's stupid MGM and their damn copyright issues. All right. Well, look, I'm going to throw some links up for people as well here. There's, like I say, there's a really, I don't know if you've read this, but I think you might get a kick out of it, Randy. It's a document called Peeking Behind the Locked Door, a survey of escape room facilities. And it's done by Scott Nicholson. And it's a little white paper thing that he's done. And it's a little dated now, but it's just kind of fun. And it touches on a lot of these things. All right. Some people are weird about sci-fi. They think it's only spaceships and aliens. Yeah, that's true. Sci-fi does, for some people, does make them think that it's all going to be too nerdy, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's just science fiction, so it is a make up whatever you want.
Can you imagine seeing a green or orange cloud coming under a what? I don't know about that.
They're talking about gassing the people while they're in there.
Oh, I see.
Just as an incentive. Yeah.
No.
What's the?
Well, no, not you. That's what they're talking about.
No, that was in the
chat.
chat. That was in the chat. They were, yeah. I guess there's also safety rules and stuff. Like, do you have to run stuff by? Is there someone who comes in and says like, "Oh, you can't do that," or whatever?
Yeah, there's
No
a
sensors.
once we have an idea of a building of a room, we kind of go, okay, yep, this is how we want to do it. I mean, we generally know the guidelines now. We kind of build within it, but if we do have anything that's questionable, like we have a live wire or an exposed thing that needs to be somewhere else or be there for a purpose, and we're chatting to safety people. Who
do you talk to about that? Like, is there? There's not like a department of escape rooms. Like, who do you talk to?
Well, it's usually we chat to the fire marshal.
Right.
Okay. Those people, electricians. We get professional opinions on that.
And then you have to. I'm assuming you get people to sign off on stuff as they come into the room as well.
Well, we used to do as a setup as like you sign in and come in and sign a waiver and things like that. But it actually wasn't really necessary because it was only really made for us if we locked the door.
Oh.
Yeah. So as long as we don't lock the door, which of course is a whole bunch of extra nonsense. Well, I mean, not nonsense. It's there for a reason. But
yeah.
So basically, you say, "I'm closing this door." You don't open it until you've solved things.
Yeah, essentially.
But if they need to, they can get out.
They come in, we kind of enter into a verbal agreement. Hey, you're going to go in this puzzle room. You'll have 1 hour to find the thing that you're looking for. Good luck. I'll be out here if you need me. Shout help Game Master.
Oh, is that it? That's the code. That's your safe word?
Yeah. Help Game Master.
Have you ever had like an emergency? Have you ever had like sort of like a heart attack or something? Or
no.
Okay.
No, nothing's ever come up.
Because I haven't got up there yet. That's why. You turn the lights off on me, and that's it. I'm out. That's it. My heart just stops.
It did not just happen.
Oh my God! I killed McKay.
We killed David Hewlett.
What have I done?
Borderline national treasure.
That's certainly an antique. Certainly an antique. A delicate, fragile flower of an antique, I would say. So are there...
that was a good one.
Are there genres that you want to explore yourself further? I mean, do you want to do more sci-fi stuff, or is there anything that you...
Yeah, I kind of... Well, I mean, personally, I kind of... it's just building the puzzles for me. I mean, once the puzzle's built, I can make it look like anything. I can make it look like a wizard tower or a piece of
that's
technology,
interesting.
right?
Huh.
So... to me, I'm always interested in the next coolest technology that could be used.
And is there anything that you've seen that you go like, "Oh, I got my eye on that"?
Yeah, a few of them. Not gonna lie, I was super engaged there when you had Lord Chunky on there with the processors and things.
Oh, the GPUs. Oh. Yeah.
Oh.
I've actually, one of the things I just threw in my mailing list thing was I think we need to. I started going down the rabbit hole on that stuff. And it is insane how far you can go. I mean, yeah.
Something as simple as the reed switches and using magnets, and you can like create things that look like magic, like that would work. Similar to something that you would see on Stargate. Having a jewel that you place onto the thing, and then suddenly the whole board lights up, and it just. I think that if you can make movie magic real. That's the magic. I mean, that's the cool thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, and I mean,
magic isn't what I do here, right? This isn't magic. What was magic for a moment was what was happening right there, right in your eye. What you saw the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
That's what movie magic is, right?
Yeah. Well, I think think that's what people. I mean, I guess it's the immersive thing, right? People want to get lost. They want to go into a room and have to figure stuff out and have a little adventure and stuff. I think that's great.
It definitely teases to those who are who feel that they can solve anything. Put me into a room. I'm Doctor Who, right?
Ooh, a Doctor Who escape room? Wow.
We may or may not be doing that. All right. Anyway,
that would be cool. I mean, although again, as you say, I guess you got to be careful on your.
Yeah. We got to be careful with certain words that we say.
Call it Doctor what?
Exactly.
Something like that.
Dr.
Ware.
What to Clark?
Dr. How. Dr. How.
Right?
Yeah.
How do I get out of here?
Exactly.
What now? Are there?
Professor James
Ooh.
Gurney's Adventure in
That's
Space.
it. Professor Dr. Gurney. Yes, it's true.
Yes.
What are there like trade shows for this kind of stuff? I mean, do they have like a? They should. I feel like they should have like a Comic-Con version of escape rooms.
Oh, true.
There is kind of. I mean, it's
Escape
not
Con.
as. Yeah, there is such a thing as. It's similar to that. It's
Really?
where a bunch of designers and builders, they all get together and they all kind of, it's like a big swap meet. Like, hey, this is a cool puzzle I've built. This is something I've built here. And I'll sell you the plans, or I'll sell you the device, which is kind of neat. So it's kind of like a big garage sale,
Like a trade show type thing.
Yeah.
Where do they hold that?
It's all over. Sometimes it's actually in Toronto. Actually, sometimes
Really?
in Ottawa as well. At least the ones that I've been to.
I feel like that'd be fun to go to just to see what people are doing, like just to get a sense of like it's one of those things that like seeing what people are doing and what they're selling and all that kind of stuff. I just think would be especially if you're like it sounds to me like you're inspired by the technology, which is probably where I would come from it as well. Like I feel like I would be writing around the technology as well because I just like I want to play with that. How do I convince my wife to let me buy it? That's basically yeah.
Very much like the technology behind everything. I think it's just interesting because, I mean, it's similar to like a magic trick where it's the puzzle is telling a story, and if you get to the end, something very cool happens. The box unlocks, or whatever.
Have you played with Arduino or Raspberry Pis or anything? Is there any of that stuff yet?
Yeah, Arduino is it's actually built into the clue control program.
Oh, great! So you can actually interface with those. Yeah, because there's some great stuff. I mean, like I'm like constantly playing with Arduino stuff. I love it. In fact, one of my missions to do that I told myself I would get done is a little humidity and temperature sensor for the gecko. But now I feel like I need one for every single plant I have in the house too. So I think I gotta have to do that as well. So
if you have one, you need them. You need them all to work, right?
That's it. Yeah. And of course, there's a shortage of parts right now, so it's hard to find some of those little Raspberry Pis and stuff. Have you done the Raspberry Pi at all?
Not so much with the I've done is mainly with the Arduino stuff, but
because the Raspberry Pi stuff, you can actually add computing to it as well, like a lot more. Like it can actually sort of pull stuff off the internet. It's basically like a little Linux computer.
Oh yeah, we've got a guy that sort of builds all that stuff. I can't even begin to. He's really good at that. He's like a wizard at that stuff.
And that's a guy that you bring in when you need him, or is he there all the time doing that stuff?
He's kind of I consult. Because I kind of want to figure out how to do it on my own. Right. And so I'll every now and then I'll be like, okay, having trouble in this. How did this? He goes, did you check this? Did you check your grounds? Did you check that? Like, okay, hold on. So he won't. Yeah. So he doesn't actually tell me how to do it, but he does he guides me to where I need to go. He's like, you're in the ballpark.
Now and what's his background? Like, why is he playing with this stuff? Is it just a hobby, or is it just a?
Yeah, he's a hobby technician guy. He's just a tinkerer that just loves this technology stuff, and very similar to the tech autopsy. That's what he used to do as a kid, was break apart stuff to figure out how it worked.
That's all I did. Yeah. I could never get them back together again, but I love taking them apart. I mean, it's amazing how much you can learn doing that. Yeah. Because you end up sort of finding out what all the components are and all that kind of stuff. So
and you finally figure out why you had to blow onto your games for the Nintendo for it to work.
Yeah, there's a lot of well, one of the first things I did was I remember getting my Merlin. Merlin was this long before your time, but it was a little very simple game that you could buy, handheld game, and I had it apart within a night. And my parents were like, "You saved up for that long to take it apart?" I was like, "Yeah."
I remember Merlin.
Remember Merlin? And you had to follow the codes, and the ad made it sound
like
a lot
Simple
cooler.
Simon kind.
Yeah,
like Simon said.
It didn't float in space, and it didn't have a wizard voice, so I was disappointed, to be honest. So I took it apart.
Yeah.
So look, we've kept you well over 2 hours, so I should let you get back to what little free time you have in your day.
Yes, I have to go get into my 3-piece suit and gel up my hair and
Oh,
make it
nice.
look like I haven't been chatting to awesome people all
You
day.
got to classy it up, buddy.
I do, yeah. Well,
Well-
here it's the definition of entertaining, right? I mean, you got to dress one step better than your audience.
That's it.
And I like to say that my audience is completely gorgeous, so I have to wear a three-piece suit.
Nice. I was told, buy a suit, you'll need it. That's what one of the older actors said. Just buy a suit, you'll need it. And I was like, I never wear a suit. Well, what happens? You get older. That's all you do is wear suits.
Yeah,
All right. Well, look, enjoy your evening. Thank you so much for this.
No problem.
I will drop. Oh, actually, if you don't mind, give me all your social media handles and stuff, and I'll post them as well, if that's okay.
Sure.
At your earliest
Randy the
convenience.
Magic Man. It's
That's
on
it.
the Facebook. It's on the Randy the Magic Man.
It's just Randy the Magic Man.
Randy
Very
the
good.
Magic Man.
Okay.
Hashtag rated, whatever it is.
You got
it's
it.
all there.
All right. Randy the Magic Man, people, who's going off to make himself
you.
even
Woo.
prettier than he is now. It's amazing to believe. All right. Thank you
I
so
know.
much, man. Thank you,
Right.
Five Pup, for being here. Thank you, audience. And I will say, be safe, be kind, be brilliant. And until we geek again, a cheerio and huzzah! Thank you so much, Gippy. I'm
Thank
going
you.
to
That was
stop
great.
the stream.
Very good, Randy.
Hang on. Yeah, that was amazing, man. That was absolutely amazing.
Thanks.
All right.